All right, y'all. What's up? This is the Good Samaritan show. Finally, we're on a little bit earlier today. Good.
Are we
Anyway,
on
I hope y'all are doing all right. Yeah, we're a little late, but we're not that late tonight. So it's all good. Hope y'all doing well. I'm actually trying to check the Facebook feed right now, making sure we're on there the right way. Oh, yep, we are. All right, cool. Got it. All good. Hope y'all doing well. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Good. Don't be saying my name like that. Like you just met me yesterday.
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Now you're talking like your job.
Hello, Kevin. Hi, KJ.
Uh,
You don't like that?
I'm good with
Hi,
it.
hi, babe.
I'm good with it. It's better.
You,
All right.
oh, okay.
He's about. You ready? You look. You ready? You ready? You just ready? You ready? You ready? You just ready?
To do what? I'm ready to be on the show. Per usual. Per
They ain't what I'm
usual.
talking about, and you know I'm not. But it's all
What?
right. We're gonna move on. I know they don't know, but I know.
You don't know nothing.
It's
You
ready.
don't know nan.
Um,
Anyways,
we
how
got
was
a
your
lot
day
to
today?
talk. My day was eventful. I had a lot of stuff I had to do, but we good.
What are these glasses?
These are my new glasses. I had broke the other ones, so I ordered some new ones. There they are. Absolutely. And so there they are.
You'll be
Um,
spending money without telling me.
oh, we're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that. Anyway, hope you guys are doing well. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Tanya helped me with some of the technology too. I'm not gonna use that yet. I'm gonna use it later. But we got some stuff to talk about tonight. Everybody else will be on here when they get on. Y'all know we don't wait. We just go. All right, so we're gonna talk about some serious stuff. Then we're gonna laugh tonight, and I mean laugh. I got some stuff set up, so we're gonna laugh real quick. Um, Shooting straight from the hip, Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard is avoiding sheriffs for back rent. How do you have back rent and you stole $3.9 million? What were you not? You got three. And here's the thing, you got back rent of three. Let me say it this way: they have come to you several times to that house to serve you eviction papers. You avoided them, but then you turned around. They put the amount up. You owe 3,100 some odd dollars. You do realize if you pay that money, and if you haven't seen the sheriffs or anybody, if you go to court and pay that money, you won't have to be evicted.
Did you say 3,100? Because that's just $3,100.
$3,100. She owes back rent for 31 plus $100. And the bottom line is that's all she has to pay to stay in that house that she basically stole. Like,
So, so obviously we know that she's not good with finances. We obviously know from this she's also greedy. She won't even use it to pay the bills. She's very irresponsible. We already know from all the things, everything's lining up. Um, and I'm low key mad that she's on our hot topics for the 19th time. It's crazy. She's crazy.
let me tell you why she's been up here so many times. Because
I'm not mad
once
at it. I'm just
again,
saying.
we have a black woman that was mayor in a white town. They gave you a chair. They gave you a seat. They normally don't want you to sit in restaurants and drinking from water fountains and all this other stuff. Now you have a congressional seat. You have a seat. You are the mayor of the city. You stole $3.9 million. You left the country, came back after your little whatever you did, and then you come back to only find that now you are to be served eviction papers for back rent of $3,100 to $3,200, and you can't even pay that after you stole 3.9 million.
Where's the
You,
rest of it at?
I, I, I ain't with her. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's somewhere. Listen. If you dumb enough to come back in the country, then you dumb enough to lose the 3.9 million. She probably don't even know where it is.
She's a dumb all around.
And she's so hood. I'm still trying to figure out how the heck she even got in the seat. We already talked about that.
Yeah.
But she is literally in the seat to, I don't know. Where's my paper? Okay. All right. I need a drink. Hold on.
What you drinking?
All right. Some stuff that I got from the store. I want to say what it is.
You're spending money again. See, we need to talk. We're gonna go off. We be back, y'all. Commercial break.
No, we ain't got no commercial break. We all right. We good.
What are you spending money on?
All right. Well, okay. There's a woman who and we're gonna talk more about this when the other people get on, but there's a woman who won a settlement of $8.5 million. Um, she was handcuffed by the police and she was put in the back of a police car, and the police left her on the train tracks and she got hit by a train.
And she survived?
She survived it. She went to court and she won an $8.5 million settlement.
Did she have legs?
I didn't get that far. It didn't go that far, but it said that she basically was alive enough to sue and go to all the court hearings for them to come up to the fact that, yeah, I believe so. Yeah, she made it. So if they wasn't mad before, they're mad now.
I'm mad for them. First of all, what? How irresponsible. This is the part that I don't quite, and this is for that, not just this situation, but just period. Mm-hmm. Protect and serve.
Who?
What are we? Yeah. How are we skipping over that and everything else is being done?
Ooh.
That's in so many situations. Exactly. And I don't say that just for Black people. I say that for everybody. Protect and serve.
Well, this is what I know. Now, I'm glad we're talking about this. We have watched TikTok several times. We have seen so many things. I follow a couple of the police pages, the accounts that they have, like cops and different kind of things. I watch this stuff. Now, this is really, I'm really glad we're talking about this, and hopefully everybody else that comes on can kind of sign on to it. This is what I know. Normally, when you are pulled over by police, I won't say they have the nastiest attitudes, but some of them are not the most pleasant. But one thing I figured out was that, and this is us, this is anybody, this is anybody who's listening. The police normally operate off of the vibe that you're giving. True. Normally, if they see that you are a person who is aggravated, you're speaking out of turn, you just being rambunctious, you don't care about nothing that's going on, you hollering, you screaming, you angry, you're aggressive, they see all of that. Psychologically and through their training, they now turn on that other button and they say, okay, well, we ready now because this one look like it's not gonna work out well.
They're like, nigga here now.
He getting ready, she getting ready to, they react to full. Yeah. Now, when the police officers see that you are compliant and they see that you are not an issue, when they see, like I said, they pull you over and they say, how you doing? You say, hi, how are you? License and registration. Here you go. It's right here. Everything is right there. Okay. Just give me a second. Okay. They come back. You know why I pulled you over? I'm not aware. Let me know. Even if you go as far as saying, listen, you in a 25, you doing 27. And you say, you know what? I do know. I was doing 27. It's a 25. I'm trying to get to work. I'm trying to do what I need to do. I apologize, but I know you have to do your job, whatever. 9 out of 10 times, they're not going to give you a ticket. Because
I've experienced that, yeah.
To them, well, you're a female, is different. But to them, it's like you're complying. You're not an issue. When they see you're not an issue, they will do everything they can to make sure you go home. I've seen it happen myself.
Yeah.
And one thing I know is when I'm watching cops on TikTok, or when I'm watching, I forgot the other one it is, but it's mounds of them. They always put up. They never put up people who are complying. They don't put them on the account at all because that doesn't draw people.
Yeah.
They put up the entitled little spoiled little. I don't have to show you my license. I don't. I want y'all to understand, and I hope
The
people
people
watch this
that,
later.
let me be clear, the people that act like them, because they're the ones who feel like they're entitled.
Sometimes the other ones that I've seen, it was us, and then the other ones that and black folk. Let me make my point about this other situation. I'm making for it. Just remind me. Just say black folk. I don't know where I'm at.
Okay.
But they put people up that are entitled. They ask for their license. I don't have to show you my money. It's my amendment right. There's no amendment right to not show. If you're at a traffic stop, you have no choice but to show your driver's license, your insurance card, your registration. You cannot tell a police officer, I'm not showing you that. Those are
You can't.
grounds for
You
him to be
can't.
like, okay, if you're not going to show me your credentials, I'm going to show you these handcuffs.
Right.
That's just it. I'm going to show you the back of my car. I'm going to show you the precinct. I'm going to show you the jail cell.
Yeah.
So when they get like that, when they turn around and they start acting like that, you are only inviting problems. You are not holding up, a standard. You're being an idiot.
Yeah. I
So
agree. Now say
that's
black folks.
but let me tell you what black folk do. One thing where we mess up is we abuse our power. And that has been since the beginning of time. Back in the days when the slaves was inside, the person who was in the house felt like they were more valuable than the person in the field. I'm in the house. I get air. I get, blocked from the sunlight. It's hot outside. I get ventilation. I'm good. You out there picking cotton and doing whatever. So right off the bat, I'm better than you. No, the realization of the whole matter is, if you turn around, are you cleaning your teeth in a
No,
line?
sorry. No, I'm not. It was I had a piece of tea. Piece of
You had
chicken
a
on
piece of
it.
teeth? Okay. All
I
right.
mean, a
I
piece of
guess.
chicken.
I
Stop.
guess. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna fight you. Thank you,
When
Tracy, for
you
coming.
Tracy,
Thank you
how
for
you doing,
coming. Thank
Tracy?
you for coming. I
Hey,
needed you
hey,
here.
y'all.
I needed you here. Tracy, how you
We were.
feeling?
Oh, oh God. That was the worst rehearsal of my life.
Oh no, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk. I would love to hear about this, Tracy. What we're
Good.
doing
I'm
here is we're
definitely
talking about these police officers and this stuff they got going on. But we weren't talking about police officers. We're talking about people who don't comply with police officers. Now we know some of them are bad. We know
Yeah.
some of them are, whatever. But a lot of times, as I was saying earlier, police officers that see that you are complying, 9 out of 10
don't leave you
times
alone.
they're not gonna bother you. If they
Yeah.
see you're complying, they'll let you go if your credentials ain't right. I had a friend of mine who he got pulled over. He had just got this new car. He got pulled over, and the cop pulled him over. He said, "Hey man, what's going on?" He said, "Hey sir, how you doing?" He said, "You got your license and registration on?" He said, "I got my registration. I got the insurance." He said, "But I'm working on the license." He said, "What's up with your license?" He said, "Child support. I'm still working off this child support. It's getting on my nerve." The cop looked at him and said, "Hey man, take your stuff, go home. I understand. just just go home. I get it." And then the cop was laughing at him because he's like he wasn't aggravated like irate. He was just like, man, he's blah blah blah. They messing my credit up and blah blah whatever. So the cop let him go. But when the police officers see that you are not going to comply, when they see you're going to be a problem, it is their job to protect themselves first. It's their job to protect the community, right?
I agree.
So when you're sitting up here and they're just asking you, listen, can we just see your license and registration? And I don't have to show you that. I don't. If you are driving a car and the cops pull you over, you are obligated to show them your credentials. There is nothing about this that is Chinese algebra, and
Yeah.
we get away with it simply because of the fact that we feel like because we are of a certain nature that we can sit up here and act like, we can act stupid if we want to. It's better to be smart in a lot of cases than to be strong. You know what I'm saying? Because being strong in a situation and willing to get shot does not show intelligence.
At all.
At none. So if they pull you over and they say, "Hey, how you doing, license?" and I don't have to show you that. What you want that for? You just pulled me over because I'm black. No, I pulled you over because you got a tail light out.
Right.
I pulled you
Basically.
over because I just wanted you to know that your gas cap is open, and I just wanted you to close it. I was trying to help you out.
That reminds me.
Nine.
That reminds me of clients that call in that's just so irate and so all over the place. And when I'm like, why? Like when I ask me, I work for a bank, and I'm doing a 2-step authenticator. They're like, why we gotta do all this? Why I'm go? And I had to go. I feel like I'm visually talking to them, like face to face, even though I know I'm not. I go, we are a bank. We are over the phone. And if I make it easy for you, it'd be easy for anybody else. They go, oh yeah. Like it's like, why did you do all that? Because if it was the other way around, you'd be saying something else to me. People.
And then they'll get mad because you didn't do what was necessary to protect their account. Now they all ticked off. Now they upset.
Thank you.
But with that being said, the bottom line is like I said, I saw some of the other ones. Black people, when we have a little bit of a title, right?
It's a problem.
I am in my 3rd year of law. So anybody that talks to me about law, I'm going to have a great rebuttal about it because I done studied and I done did. Listen, I understand that. I saw it on TikTok the other day, yesterday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, I saw it. It was a man that got pulled over, black guy. You're already a threat. He looked like he was about 6'5". You a threat. I'm only 5'2". You a threat, homie. I just want you to understand that. You tall when your head is hitting the roof. When your head is hitting the roof of the van, you understand? You tall.
Maybe you're not 5'2" though. So just make sure.
I'm saying this is what the cop might say.
Okay.
So he turned around. The cop went to him and said, "Hey, how you doing? This is a traffic stop. Just wanted to get your license." And the guy just immediately. Now, as a lawyer, I would think you would use your brain with all of the education that you got, that you would understand. Make this easy on you and them.
Right.
And just say, okay, officer, here you go, blah, blah, blah. I don't even have to tell you I'm a lawyer. If I'm sitting in a spot and you ask me to present my credentials, I'm just going to give them to you.
Here you go.
Here you go. Take that. All right. And guess what? The car at the time, homeboy wasn't even moving. So that would make me give you my stuff even more because now I'm going to be like, you try something now. Listen, you saw me the whole time. I was sitting right here. He took the license, he took the registration, took the insurance, and he's just, why are you taking my information? You need to understand that I am a lawyer. I have been practicing law. I will have your badge off of you tonight. Blah, blah, blah. And the cop was just sitting there looking at him, and he's looking at his dash camera. He's like, and he says, "Sir, all I wanted to tell you was I just wanted to make sure everything was okay. But we had gotten word that there was another van, black van, this make and model that was in a car. Run. So when I saw this car, he said, I just came to ask if you had been in any accidents or any. That's all I wanted. I didn't want anything else."
But you know what the other side of that, Kevin, is? And I hear everything you're saying. Every point you raise is completely valid. The other side of that, unfortunately, there have been too many other horror stories where there are police out there that, have that badge and use that privilege for, situations that are crazy. So there are some people that have just gotten to that point where I'd rather, just be ready for that, even though, to your point, most of the time it's a good guy or a good girl that just wants to, just offer some basic assistance. But it's unfortunate that other flip side is also a reality.
But can I ask you a question? And I want to say this, and everybody can answer. I'm asking everybody to chime in on this. I know that a lot of people have been stopped by police and have been wrongly accused of things and stuff has happened. I get that. I understand that. I'm a black dude. I done been in white. I'm one in particular. I was living in Tennessee. I had to go to Paris, Tennessee, where Bobby Jones was from. We were doing a
Bobby
taping
Jones.
there, and to get over to there from Nashville, I had to go through some spots that I knew. I swore I would see a noose somewhere. I know, I know I would, but I didn't. But when I got there was a police officer that pulled right behind me. I was speeding because I was late. So when I got out there, I got out the car. He said, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "I'm good, officer. I'm rushing trying to get in here. I'm late. I just came from Nashville." He said, "Are you part of the event?" It's a small town, so they know everything. They got a town hall that they have all the events at and stuff like that. That's the one building they got. So he said, "Are you part of the event here?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Okay." He said, "I just wanted to stop you because you were speeding. I do understand. The only good thing about this is you were on a road where a lot of people don't have to, be on to get home or whatever. A lot of people live in different areas."
Not a
He
lot
said,
of
"Just
heavy
try to."
traffic.
No, he said, "So just try to slow it down a little bit." I said, "Okay." And I ain't gonna lie. When I got in that building and I got by myself for
You
5 seconds, I said,
shot it.
"Thank you,
You
Jesus.
think Yahweh, Jesus,
Thank
Hare
you, Jesus."
Krishna, Muhammad, all
Because
of it.
he now here's the thing. He could have been an idiot and been like, "Well, you ain't going in there today. You know what? You're gonna come out here and we're gonna get your license, registration, or whatever." And he could jot down whatever he want to jot down. I caught him
Yeah.
doing 72. He could have said anything like that. But he saw that I was willing to comply and talk to him.
Right.
And I was like, "Hey, how?" Because I didn't stay by the car. I didn't holler, whatever. I went to the car. I said, "Hey, how you doing?" He said, "Hey, are you?" I said, "Yeah, I'm late. I came from Tennessee." He said, "Yeah, okay. I caught you speeding." He said, "But it's a good thing. The road was open. When you go home tonight, just make sure you keep it at because they're very strict around these areas." He said, "But you guys have a good time." And he backed his car. He left.
Well,
You
the
know,
good thing about it is that that's how it ended for you, and we've seen many of instances where people were very compliant, just really, really, regularly regular, and it escalated for no reason from the cop side.
right,
And what
right,
happens is,
right.
as a black person, especially a black man, and sometimes black women, because it happened to Sandra Bland, I think it's her last name. At the end of the day, you get now anxiety because now you're black and a cop is doing this to you, and now you're scared, right? And this is not
Right.
and for some of these people who have passed away, some people who are victims to this were not repeat offenders. They were like, "This is my first
The
time being
first
pulled over."
time. Right.
Yeah, it's my first time being pulled over, and I'm nervous because what if Sandra Bland happens to me? What if that Anthony, I forgot his name, whatever, or what if these other people that happen, these things that happens to? What if I'm the next person that people are trying to say my name, right?
And that was my point.
And that's the part that I feel like you have been. Here's the thing. Let me be honest. We got to call a spade a spade. Kevin, I've already told you. Sometimes you walk in a room, you look like whoa, 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 right? And so for someone to look like that, but also have very good mannerism, is like whoa, okay. The cops or whoever you deal with go, okay, well, wow, I thought, but it wasn't. Okay, that's great. But then you might see somebody, the cop or a cop may see somebody who is a little bit more demure in their stance and give a very calm, report. But this cop think that they can just shove them around, which has happened, and these people are gone, or these people are injured, these people are, whatever happens, killed exactly in situations like that. So I agree with you 100%. You do your best to do all that you can to make sure you keep your part down. That doesn't mean that's going to change the view of the person that you're talking to. And the only reason why I say that, again, I'm going to be done in a few seconds, is that also with women, when you are very compliant and you're very demure, you're just trying to, just do what you got to do, they'll take advantage of that too. And next thing you know,
That's true.
you back in the squad car.
At the end of the day, the cop that wants to be that way is going to be that way regardless of who it is that he's dealing with.
True.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Kevin, you're
nice or not
1,000% right. There's no, I can tell my own story here. For several years, I drove, and I think we've had this conversation on here before. I drove. I didn't have anything look like a license. I'm just telling my own story. That's not my story today, thank God. But the point I'm making is, it would have been. Hey, Kevin, you're laughing, but you know what I'm saying is true.
That's why I'm laughing.
I'm only laughing because we actually pick up people from the airport, but it's okay. Maybe it's okay.
With a license, though. Anyway,
Now he got a license. He won't use it.
Oh, I use it every day. But the point I'm trying to make is that there was a time when, yeah, I would have tried to deflect and dissuade, not because I was necessarily doing anything illegal, but I knew my license situation. I knew once they started doing that, I knew that was going to present its own set of circumstances. Some people, to your point, you know you ain't right. You ain't got good insurance. You ain't got, your registration isn't right. Your license, whatever your situation may be. And so now you're going to try to, kind of push off and try to make something else. But to Kevin's point, like now, every now and then I get a little flashback. I'm like, oh, this guy. I'm like, oh no, wait a minute, I'm legal. Okay, I'm good. And so again, that takes some of the anxiety out of this. And thank God, knock wood, there haven't been many situations, really almost non-existent, where I can honestly say where I just got randomly stopped by a cop for any reason at all. The fact that I got a little gray up here, it's not an absolute, but I'm not necessarily the profile of who they may be looking at as being somebody as an aggressor and stuff like that. But you are right. I mean, my mama taught me, just be nice to people. Just that simple. Be nice to people.
And one thing, like I was saying, even what Tanya was saying about being a female, that kind of thing. There's one time where she was pulled over. And she immediately called me. And I'm like, where are you? She's like, I'm by the house, but I'm like right on the beginning of the freeway. And the cop pulled me over. And she was having car trouble at the time. So she was still trying to deal with the car. But he was like, I gave you a courtesy, whatever. But then when I saw you kind of zigzagging the third time, I had to go check it out. She's like, well, I'm having trouble with my car. So she was on the phone with me the whole time. And at that point, I kept saying, I'm pretty sure everything will be okay. But we know that this kind of stuff happens. There are innocent people who are on the road. We do understand it. All I'm saying is this is my point. My point is don't give them a reason.
That's true.
That's all. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying listen,
agree.
you're gonna be who you are. They're gonna be who they are. They're gonna be what there are some guys who didn't become a cop because they love the community. They love to protect it. But they became a cop because they ain't have no good upbringing.
That's true.
Nobody listened to him at the house. Nobody respected him at the house. Nobody gave him no attention at the house.
And
so they became a cop. So now the first people I'm going towards are the people who didn't respect me. That's who became cops. That wasn't a occupation that they just, I can't wait to be a police officer. It was it was a way of them really understanding that, okay, now authority. I have the power to do whatever I want to do now. You know what I'm saying?
Another layer to what you just said, Kevin, is not really trying to get into a very political thing, but the truth of the matter is, because of a particular person that is running for president right now that has been a president, and the demeanor and the mindset that this person has kind of, it's a presence that's always been there. However, under this person's leadership, people feel more emboldened to let it rise up and, and become more open with doing it. And
did it open it, or is it allowing it to be free because Donald Trump's name ain't Jim Crow?
No, but it might as well be.
But my point is that Jim Crow era, when that started, and then you look up at the Donald Trump situation right now, these are just the faces of this behavior. That stuff been going on forever.
And these people, these aren't new attitudes that people just got. They've always felt this way, but they also knew that there was a climate where expressing those feelings it just wasn't popular. Or it wasn't easy, but now because he's in there, they feel like, we got the green light. Now we can just, really be who we are.
Absolutely.
It's like we're starting some new systems at work, right? And I'm over here like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying to fake it till I make it, right? And it's until I have a meeting and somebody else says, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even know what I've been doing. I'm trying to fake it, and now everybody's like, me too, everybody, me too. So at the end of the day, they all been doing the same thing, but now that someone has opened up and said how they feel about now everybody's like, I'm not alone, I can say it too. Okay, cool. I can say it too. You know what I mean? So that's what I feel like is happening with the person that's trying to run for president. They probably will not succeed with that. But anyway,
I'm just praying that on November the 5th that America will stop looking at their party
Yeah.
and that they will really look at the character of the person that they're trying to, support, and make sure that they put someone in there that is worthy of the office.
Can I be honest with you? Can we have a real conversation? And I haven't really dug that much into Kamala, and I'm not saying she isn't the right one. But when I tell you anybody against the man is better than the man,
Exactly.
I hate to say. I hope that she does well. I hope that she, is true to her word. Well, obviously, we already know that a lot of this comes from Congress anyway. They have to agree on something before things pass. I get all that, but I'm really hoping that she does her part, whatever her part is, right? But I haven't
Mhm.
really done my due diligence. That's not her fault. That's me. But anybody against him would be, I just feel like would be better, right? But at
Well,
the end of it, I'm go ahead.
I'll tell you like this: with her, you are looking at somebody. You're looking from the perspective of potential because you're hoping that she'll do. With him, you have a past and
That's
you have
right.
production that you can look at and say, okay, this is not what I hope you can do. This is what you did with your 4 years. What
Or
did
your 8 years, exactly.
well, four for him because he only was in there for 4.
Oh, that was 8. Sorry, okay, my bad.
No, thank God
No,
it was
I
only
don't think we
It
survived
felt
If
like
he
8
8.
was in-
It
years.
felt like
No,
8. It
yeah.
felt like
if
8.
it had been 8, then that means he would not be eligible to run again.
That's
Thank
true.
you.
Well, that's
Well,
but
that's
that's
not
what he's
no,
trying
that
to
don't mean
stop
that's
because
Yeah,
now
that
he's
doesn't
trying
mean
to
he wants to
say,
avoid. He
if
wants to
I get
avoid
Yeah.
in there, I want to be the new
In
Hitler,
the
or I want to be the new Saddam Hussein, or I want to be the new Bin
right.
the
Laden.
new Hitler. Because really, if you go back and look, and trust me, I was not a history buff by any stretch of the imagination, but things like this will make you go back and start looking at things
It will.
historically. And if you
Yeah.
look at Hitler in the late 30s, prior to World War II starting,
Too, right?
this path of what Trump is trying to do, there's so many
It's
similarities and
yeah.
parallels to it that if again, what's the saying? If you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. Where there's a
Right.
lot of people out there that are trying to saying just because that happened in Germany, they say, well, it'll never happen that way in the United States. But remember,
That's not true.
Germany was a free republic.
So here we are back to what I was talking about. That brings all of this out.
Mhm.
Is that the bottom line? Is we abuse our power. That was my whole
Yeah.
Got
thing.
it.
We abuse our power. We take it upon ourselves. And like I said, I'm going back to us, talk about us because I'm one of us, especially with us. We do it in church. We do it in civil matters. We do it
Yes.
in business.
We do
We
it
do it
in
everywhere.
parenting.
And so when you really get down to the brass tacks of it, it is all about personality.
That's true.
Even in relationships, people are always fighting and jogging for who's the leader.
Right.
You ain't supposed to be jogging for that. That ain't even to be all the way honest with you. The bottom line is every single time you try to be what you're not supposed to be, you create a problem. Just like I said with the guy that was in the car and the cop went to tell him, hey man, I just want to be sure this wasn't the car that was in the hit and run. And you got crazy. You keep trying to be the authority behind the wheel, and this man is the authority with the badge and the gun. Like you can't do that.
Right.
You could be a listen. You could be a lawyer, and I understand that you know law, but I can still arrest your ass too. I can still take you to jail, judge.
Right.
If a judge walks outside and he is intoxicated, he can turn
He's
around and
going.
they can arrest this judge for
That's
public intoxication.
Yep.
That's
You are
right.
not above the law, sir.
No.
If anything, your position as a judge makes us hold you to a different standard.
Yeah,
Because
you
True.
you know
the law better than anybody else.
That's right.
turn around and you'll get fingerprinted process and you'll leave. You a judge, you get fingerprinted processes, and now we setting bail.
And you're going to be on World Star.
And you're
Yeah.
gonna be and now not only will you be looked at as a judge who's incompetent just because of your lifestyle, but now we got to turn around and take that order away from you because you should be one of the people that we never have to go through this with.
Right.
So all I'm saying is again is that we abuse our power. We literally get to a place where white people do it, black people do it, you know,
Everybody.
Asians do it, domestic. We all do it, you know. But it comes from a personality. What in your childhood did not happen in your teenage years? Who did not support you enough to tell you how to handle yourself in these situations?
Right.
Who
Like
did not? Who? What class did you not pass? You didn't go to
It's
class
the
that day.
parallel that we hold, like you hold a preacher to. Now, obviously, everybody is human. We're not trying to say that any person, regardless of what your title, your role is, we're not saying that you're above the temptation. We're not saying that you're above falling to sin. But if a preacher does something, it's viewed on a whole different level and a standard than if just the average person does it.
True.
And that's just simply because there's a focus on them because of their leadership role. It's not because their sin is greater than the other person's.
No, sin is sin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that we shouldn't hold people accountable, but it's something how we will try to make it. Okay, this brother that's in the choir got 5 baby mamas, and all the kids was born a week apart.
Let me tell you something. We know somebody is. Let me shut up.
My point is just, all that can happen with him, and we'll talk about it, but we'll kind of move on. Let the preacher be at the bar. First of all, at the bar, that's a major scandal. God forbid if he smiled at a lady. Oh, him they must be sleeping. You know what I mean? We hold these standards.
I think the biggest scandal would be these days and times is if the guy was in the choir and he had 5 baby mamas. Well, if he had 1 baby mama, because let's just be honest.
Even one is. Yep, you're right.
Yeah,
the church is controversial.
Let's just be honest. But okay, we're gonna go.
Well,
Tracy,
I mean, at this point,
your background. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
At this point, what we have to realize too, again, there's just such a level of, you just got to flex your muscle, and I don't think that's necessary. We just abuse our power. I know a lot of bishops that abuse their power. You got a title, and now can't nobody talk to you. You can't touch nobody. You can't.
Why are you a bishop?
We can't even speak to you. You're untouchable. If I could talk to God every day, surely, nigga, I could talk to you. I mean, but that's what that is. Let's move on to this real quick. I was just talking earlier before you guys came on. There's a woman who won an $8.5 million settlement for being she was being detained by police officers. They didn't disclose exactly what was happening, but she was being detained by police officers. And she got in the back of the car and they drove to these train tracks. They left her there and the train hit the car. But as I said, she won a settlement, which lets you know she didn't die.
Right.
God.
And obviously she had been to all the court hearings. And now we go back. I said police officer. I don't know what happened, but they left her on the tracks, and a criminal can win a settlement. So whatever she did, I don't think the judge saw that it was fit for her to be left on no train tracks like no, captured dog. And be left there, and they left her in the car. So they dealt with her.
Police are unscathed. They don't have a scratch on them, do
they? Well, that was my point. The car was damaged, which means it was city property, which means now the taxpayers got to pay for that. Well, y'all in trouble for that too. Her. Well, if she ain't got no insurance, oh well. See what I'm saying? That's that kind of stupid stuff. And I want to say this. I'm glad I mentioned that point, but I want to say this. I was talking the other week. I put it up on Facebook, of course. And I said, people are always ready to go out, ready to spend money, ready. By the time you pay rent, you pay medical, dental, vision, you pay car insurance, car maintenance, car payment. You grind all these high behind groceries. I ain't never seen an orange cost this much money before. You turn around and now you got electric. Now you got Wi-Fi. You remember back in the day, you just turned the TV on. As long as you have electricity, you could watch TV, right? Now you got to have electricity. You got to have Wi-Fi. Now you got to pay for the apps that are on the TV. So now you paying double to watch television now. You pay for
you've been borrowing everybody else, and then everybody's interchanging their passwords.
Right.
But even still, somebody paying it. When you sit up there and you pay all that stuff, by the time you tally all of that up, hell no, I ain't going out today. Well, here's my thing. If you look at how life is, we don't know what this woman had, but now she got medical insurance. She got to pay lawyers now. She got to do all that stuff. Like, people just don't understand what it costs to do some of that stuff sometimes, And
if she did an 8.5 settlement, most lawyers that do stuff like this, 1/3 of that is just lawyer fee.
Right.
And it went up to 1/3 because I remember that's right. But when you get to it, I understand that. I get that. So now you're looking at 1/3 of 8.5 million. We get all that. We ain't got to do the math, but what we do know is you're not getting that full 8.5 million. But
No,
I
Getting a
just
lot of
think
it though.
you might get a lot of it, but what we don't know is what does she have to pay for, and mentally what is she gonna go through. You try being put in the back of a car and
Right.
handcuffed and a train coming, you're gonna be traumatized for the rest of your life.
For the rest of your
Listen,
life.
I
Yeah,
get
there's
it.
a whole lot of
You're right.
going
No,
to
that part.
psychiatrist for that. Yeah.
Because if it's only 8, so I got my mental health every night I go to sleep, I wake up, I see a light coming at me and a whole, 3,000 foot
She gotta
train
have
coming my way.
medication. You know she gotta have medication.
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
8.5 ain't that. My point is that ain't enough.
No.
And
That
again,
ain't
you
enough.
know, without knowing all the specifics,
Yeah.
that could just be her punitive, which means that's
Exactly.
just money they're saying this is basically they're saying to the cops, this is the money you're gonna pay her because y'all was stupid. There could still be other elements of it that still say, that cover medical and
Right.
ongoing and things like that.
Right. But my point is that ain't enough. Because, for me to be handcuffed in the back of a car and a train coming at me, a train had to stop a mile. It had to stop, hit brakes in a mile before it got to the car.
To even not, to be
not tap it.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They gotta stop a mile away.
I wouldn't be able to close my eyes to go to sleep, let alone blink. Without seeing that happen.
Every time I've heard a train horn, I'd be freaking out.
Right. Like literally crazy.
And your hands are like this. You ain't got not one cuff on, but you don't care. Your mind is telling you, yo, that train coming.
Right.
So as a result of that, that's what it is.
And crossing the tracks. Oh my God.
Do you remember what state that was where that happened?
I got to get more information about it. They just put up the the actual news, but I'm gonna find that out and I'll send it to y'all. But my thing is, that lady ain't never gonna be right again.
No.
Because first of all, you were handcuffed. Here's the thing: you could not escape. You were in the back of a car. The cars in a police car does not have accessibility to a handle to get out.
No.
So
and the officer literally abandoned you in the vehicle.
So they have
they got to open the door. They got to open the door. You can't open the door
there
at all. None at all. You cannot get out.
More importantly, and again, not knowing all the specifics of this specific situation.
What up, sis?
How far away is those things? They sound their horn at least a quarter to a half a mile away. As they're coming up.
My thing is, let's keep
my
that.
point
keep
is
that.
What you're saying is that in terms
right.
of the cop being able to get to the car,
exactly,
able to let her out.
But trip this out.
There should have been sufficient time for that to happen. That's the point of it.
But trip this out. Where were they? Exactly. They knew the train was coming.
Yes.
And they left her there. You left the city. You left the city car on the train tracks. The first question they're gonna ask, well, who does this belong to? Right. Obviously not her. She didn't drive herself there, handcuff herself, and then put herself in the back.
But you know what the problem there is? Obviously, they thought that whatever she was being handcuffed for in the first place was some bull. And they thought, oh, here's our perfect opportunity to get rid of that problem.
To get rid of her.
The problem for them was that she survived. The problem.
Now you're like, well, you in trouble.
So now she survived that. Now she still gets to tell the story.
I could have been wrapped in. I could have been wrapped in all kind of gauze, all kind of whatever. It just, I mean, from head to toe. I'd have saw them cops and be like, "You do know you have a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are aware of this.
You're on him. That one and the other one.
Listen. As my father used to say, I got something for that ass.
Yeah.
I got something for that ass. But what they don't know about black folk is, I know you can try to hurt us and kill us or whatever, but there's a lot of us that will come back. We're going to come back, especially if we got a revenge in our, oh boy.
We don't die, we multiply.
Multiply.
Not multiply.
It was a woman, a black woman. She is a unique character in this earth. Everyone that I've met, they are unique characters.
High five.
And you don't really, Any man that is stupid enough to
She didn't hear you,
piss
Tracy.
off,
Tanya not listening.
What
any
did you
man
say?
is stupid enough to piss
I
off
said,
a
high
black
five
woman,
on you, black
Yeah.
woman.
I couldn't hear
She
you
said
because he's talking.
she said high five, and you didn't do it yet. Oh, it's too late. Now you look like you're saying, "So help me God."
Leave her alone.
We
Not
did it.
bothering her.
We
Not
did
bothering
it.
her. She
Hi,
slapped herself. You
KJ.
see that?
Hi,
Hard time.
KJ.
So
Somebody
hard
you
time.
got to call me for. Hi, Brent. Why you got to breathe like that, Kevin?
I was trying not to burp in the microphone.
Oh, okay, good.
You didn't want to hear that.
Listen, I hear it
What
now.
up, Brent?
Anyways, hi, Brent.
Hello.
What is your shirt? Is that you on that shirt?
No. It's
Harry Winslow?
so every year, um, Forever 21, during the month of February,
Oh yeah, the
That's a
black.
great month.
they honor all different types of black designers that may
Yeah.
not have a huge platform. And so this shirt is from maybe like 3 years ago. They did like these they did one designer from LA, one black designer from LA. They featured him, but then kind of bought like almost everything. And this is just one of the last things that I could fit. So
Not
yeah.
fit. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah,
Yes.
I have taken advantage of that as of last year. I didn't know
I
that they
think
did that over
if
3 years
you have
ago.
not, it
Oh,
is
you were spending
definitely
money last year? Okay, don't talk about my money. You
No,
spending yours.
stop, hush.
she needed
Don't
all
talk
of the
about me.
things.
Yeah.
If you've never participated in it, it's a great thing to support black designers and just all things black. I am black. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, hey.
Hello, good evening.
So yeah,
We got
we
Tracy's in her mansion.
I got what?
Tracy's in the mansion.
Hey, listen. Why wait to heaven and when you can have it now?
Right. On a little
yeah.
screen.
So Brent, we talked about a lot of stuff. We're gonna get to it in a minute. I think we talked about oh, there was a guy. See, we gotta be careful. This scheme been going on forever, but I bet you he won't do this no more. There was a man that got his passport and went to the Philippines to find him a wife. And
Brent said he got some.
he went to find a wife. He found a lady that he was gonna marry. He married the lady, and then next thing he knows, he got kidnapped and taken away on a boat. And they could not find this man now.
Okay, what?
I was like, you couldn't have stayed in the country, huh? You had to go to the Philippines, and you put your life at risk to go over there. You found your wife, but then they found you too. They said, "There you go." You went over there and got hitched, and they done kidnapped you and threw you on a boat somewhere.
Is that the
And
same
now
thing
you
like a mail order bride? No.
no, this one. Well, see, the scheme that they used to have, a lot of Africans and Nigerians, all of them, they used to use it back in the day. They always tried to marry somebody to, get them to become citizens of the country.
Right, right.
Well, he decided that he was going to be responsible for bringing somebody over there. Only, I don't know what his issue was here, but I bet he'll never do that again. Because, and I don't know what kind of chance he has. Because hell, he ain't. Well, they don't know where he at.
Yeah, he's probably in somebody's stew.
Wait, Stu?
You say somebody stew?
Yeah, because they probably didn't hate him.
We have 500 pounds of a black man.
Yeah. And rice.
And rice, we put him in some pho.
Somebody's stew is crazy to me. I so love
Somebody's
that.
stew. I would have never said that. I don't even think like that.
That
Somebody's
was definitely
stew.
left, but that was funny.
You
I
finished
love
texting your
that.
boyfriend? Texting your
Somebody's
boyfriend? You
stew.
finished texting your boyfriend?
No, honey, I went to go get some more.
No, I'm sorry. Did I say that all out? I'm sorry.
And I did text you, as a matter of fact. I did, and
You
you have
did.
not
Hey,
responded.
Brent.
You say
Uh,
he just cut me
Tiffany.
off. You say he just cut me off. Y'all see that?
No, no, I, ain't-
Oh,
I meant to ask him this before. Hey,
oh,
Brent,
you did.
that lady Tiffany Henyard is now. Listen, Terrence, please hear this. Terrence, can you hear me? You working? You got something going on? All right, he doing something else. Um,
He doing
the lady
bookkeeping.
Tiffany Henyard is now being served eviction papers from the house that she's in. Guess how much money she owes? Now
How
she
much?
stole 3.9 million. Let's keep that in mind. She stole 3.9 million. She owes $3,200 in rent.
I know you telling tale.
$3,200 in rent.
So if she was
200.
it she was like governor, right? Mayor or something like
She
that?
was mayor.
I'm sorry, say
Mayor.
that amount again.
3,200.
Per
So
month
that's
or total?
She she stole 3.9 million. She owes 32. That literally, I think that's like 3 months of rent that she owes.
which is
Because I
So,
just
think
one
so
paycheck for
he
her.
wasn't paying her rent? Like, what?
she wasn't no for 3 months.
I need to
But
go
his
over there and
Like
go
So
four
what
but
was
somewhere
his,
million
then
the
no,
for
dollars.
3 months.
no, I think what happened was where she lives at, because she was the mayor. They you get perks and quirks for that. So I think that's what happened. But as the mayor, you owe 32 some hundred, and you did not pay your rent, but you stole 3.9 million. Where the other? Go ahead, Brent.
Amazon.
Right.
I don't
Amazon
know.
got it.
I mean,
That don't make no sense.
She's and I'm like, why are you go to the courthouse, find out what your case number is, go pay the 30 something $100, and you ain't gotta worry about that.
but I
Right.
didn't think
She got to pay
okay,
and quit.
so I thought when you were the mayor, okay, I can only go back to Newark. I know none of them was
Sorry.
paying. I know none of them were paying mortgage or rent. I know
No, they weren't. No, they weren't.
the city
Right.
took care of all of that.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
that's nice.
So
What are
I'm
you
trying.
doing? Yeah.
I'm
I
confused.
wonder if it was now here's what they didn't say. They just say she owns background. I wonder if it was another property that she had that she was whatever. Here's my thing. Whatever it is, for you to have stolen 3.9 million and they go, oh, by the way, she's not paying her rent for 32 something $100.
That's stupid.
But if she was the mayor, that's just one check,
That's
Right.
that one
But
check. That's one percentage of one check.
one percentage of a check. Hmm.
And you, yeah, okay, all right. I just thought maybe y'all want to expound on that.
Well,
I don't get it.
I think you said her name is Tiffany. What?
Henyard.
yard.
Tiffany Henyard. At this point,
Yeah.
we are sentencing her to the same death sentence that we are sentencing Jaguar Wright. Death with the death plea. No, you know, no possible way of parole. You get the
That's right.
electric chair.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
I think she would have to, because at this point, for you to have stolen that money and left the country, you come back and then you don't pay your rent.
That's just stupid.
All right, well, you got it.
Maybe that's why
No
she was
problem.
coming back.
To pay the
Damn, I didn't pay my rent.
and I don't have my phone to go to the site to pay it
Right.
online. I gotta go and give them a cashier's check.
Mm,
Well, in her
Because they
case,
probably
a money
monitoring
order.
my stuff. So let me go sneak in real quick and pay it and then be out.
Yeah, I don't
I'll
understand
be
that.
back, y'all. No, you won't.
No, you won't.
mm.
As a matter of
And
fact.
and I think I saw something where she's doing what Donald Trump did. She's like, "Well, we're gonna get past it. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna run for mayor again.
It should probably win.
She'll probably get it. She'll probably get it.
Like he'll probably win the election, but that's a
Yeah.
whole nother
Well,
thing.
let's just really hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, let's
I've
do.
already started working on my citizenship to Canada.
Have you for
This is
real?
I'm
I
dead
believe
serious.
you. I believe you 100%.
That and Africa because Africa is paying they're paying for blacks to return home.
That's what I heard. I did hear that.
So I
I did
have
hear that.
people that work in immigration, and I've already started um the process of getting dual citizenship for Canada and Africa. Well, I guess it'd be triple
It's
citizenship,
triple, yeah.
America,
But
America
if you
has
go
to
to
go to Canada.
but if you go to Canada, if you actually go to Canada and you get citizenship there, I think there's a way that because of you being an American going to Canada, you still have the perks and quirks of being like over here. Because
Hmm.
there's another guy that I know. He's in yeah, he's still in Canada. He went over to Mississauga, and
Hmm.
he was living over there for like 12, 13 years, and he has no problems coming back to to America at all. Like, you know, they
Mm.
see that because they, first of all, if you ever flew into Canada, when I tell you, when you go through their customs, they be like,
Oh
yeah,
my
so
God.
what happened when you was in the second
I got a
grade?
I got a
Really?
story. I got
What
I got
happened?
a story that
What
that fits
happened?
what you're saying.
Yeah, we can't. Why you can't? They had me on a ticket. I got Terrence was talking about this stuff. I got a ticket in Fair Lawn, New Jersey, for a light being out. That ticket was $24, and I paid it like maybe a month later. They still remembered that. They brought the date up. I was like, I don't remember what I did last week. Why y'all going back all the way when I was 18? I don't remember that.
Mm.
They were like, yeah, you
Let
got a
me
ticket in Fair Lawn, New Jersey, from the Fair Lawn Police Department. I was like, okay, go ahead.
so my son, this is before I met you know who. My son's been acting since he was younger. So at some point he got discovered to play young Michael Jackson after Michael Jackson died to travel all over Europe. Okay, so I got this information. I didn't believe it. Blah blah blah. Anyways, long story short, it was true. We were in South Carolina. They were rehearsing in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, just rehearsing there before we went over to Europe just a year. So before we went there, we had to go to, I'm sorry, one place in Europe, one stop in Europe first, and then to Canada, and then going back to Europe. So we were going to Canada, we are going to Niagara Falls, and they kept coming into the rehearsal. They kept saying, "Hey, has anybody had any issues with the law? Any issues that you guys want to let us know? Just let us know. Just though you don't have to do it right now. This, mind you, this is a company of at least 70 people. I'm making that up, but it's around 70 people. Do you guys?" And Dylan's the only child. Everybody else is adults. And they're like, "Hey," they kept coming back into rehearsals. Hey, the company kept coming back and say, "Hey, anybody had any problems? Any problems, right?" Nobody got up. And if they did, they talked to them privately. I never knew. So I'm traveling with my son and the rest of the singers, because my son's a singer. And I'm like, okay, so we're getting there. We get to Canada. We flew into New York. What is that? Buffalo? I don't know. Wherever we
That's
flew into
Buffalo.
the
Yeah, y'all flew to
yeah,
Buffalo. Yep.
and then we had to cross over to So we get over there. We're in like Sprinter vans, and we have two, and there's one in front of us and one. I'm in one. I'm in the other, and sure enough, we get stopped. I'm like, oh, what's going on? So it's okay. It is what it is. It's customs. It is what it is. Do you know that one of the guys that was on there had an issue back in the eighth grade that landed him, and that he thought, and mind you, he didn't think that it was going to be something he needed to bring up because he was such a young kid. But he had an issue with, I guess, bullying, kept bullying. He's a dancer, he's gay, probably had a lot of issues moving, trying to figure out his life, whatever. It is what it is at age. But anyways, he did not think, and I have to agree with him. He probably didn't think that was something he had to bring up. But sure enough, we were at the border for 5 hours
Mm.
for them to allow him to come in. And we were only there for 2 weeks, so they had to do a visa for 2 weeks. But I had to also pay. I think it's all about money, first of all. But I had to pay. Now, mind you, because I'm not, everyone else is adults, but I'm the only responsible adult. So the managers who were flying right into Canada told me, say, "Hey, Tonya, just put it up. We'll make sure." Because I got a per diem as a mom to go with my son. But at the end of the day, they were like, "Just put up the money for now since they want it now, and then we'll reimburse you," which they did. But I could not believe, like Kevin said, like they will bring up stuff that you'd be like, dang, like who would have thought at eighth grade me bullying and doing what I did? I don't know the full extent of it, of what the young man did, which he's probably older now, but I don't know the full extent. But honey, when I tell you, they was like, he can't come in here.
I
I said,
wonder
then yeah,
how they pull this stuff up.
I have no idea. I have
Because
no idea.
what they do is they actually have an agreement with the United States.
Oh,
Mm.
So their agreement, because now when you think about the border and you're looking at um and the funny thing about the whole Canada border thing, Canada is huge, right?
Yeah.
So you're up in Buffalo and upstate New York and all of that. That's by Canada. You go down to Detroit, there's the Cobo Center right there, the casinos and everything. When you're in the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater, you're literally looking at Canada. Like if you turn around,
Windsor.
that's
Yep.
Canada right there. So
Windsor.
it, Canada is huge, but what they did was they have an agreement with the United States because what they're doing is they're making sure that no real criminals come in there.
They squeaky
Because if
clean
you
over
look
there.
at
It's safety over
if you
there.
look at Canada, Canada is a place where you rarely hear about anything major happening over there
that's
Mm.
true.
because they don't play any games, but they are very careful with how they deal with those of us who are coming over there from here. They have a real
Yeah.
problem with that,
But
and they
then
try to
America
stop you.
got sex offenders as presidents. Got it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I just don't understand how
Hmm.
this is happening, but you look over there in Canada. You ever notice that when the war was happening with the United States, Canada didn't say nothing. They didn't say. They was like, that's y'all. We
Because they
didn't
mind
we
their
don't have
business.
True.
case in point. This is the reason why I don't understand. We keep going over there. We're not selling. We're going. They're sending these innocent people to these places around across the border and making them fight for what? Because y'all two niggas can't come together and say that's
So
what
two
all of
people
this
were
is about.
mad. Two people mad. Yeah.
That's what
That's
all of
true.
this is about. You don't like the way he look. He don't like where you from. So we're gonna kill 20,000 people.
That's pretty much gangbanging.
I'm
Pretty
just to me. That's why I said even with the Canada thing, and I understood what Brent was saying. They are so strict because they don't want the problems that Detroit and Buffalo is having. They don't want the problems that Chicago and they don't want none of them problems. They don't
They
want
don't want the
none of them
smoke.
problems. So y'all stay over there. Now they do have casinos in Windsor right there. So when you go across the border, that's where the casinos are. But you spend your money, but we don't want you. Don't come over here. So like places
And
like
that's where
Toronto,
Bella performed in the
Mississauga,
casino.
Montreal, um, all those places over there, you don't never hear nothing about them over there. Not
true.
not none. But you say Memphis and Texas and it's all going down. So it is what it is. But yeah, I heard about that, Brent, and I heard even with Africa, they're actually doing a program where they'll pay you to come back. You know,
Absolutely. And so I have already started the process. And yeah, I got to get out of America. I've given it enough of my time. I got to go. And for me, it's like, when you are younger, you don't really think about political things as much.
uh,
You don't
Hmm.
really think about how it can affect the trajectory of your entire life.
right?
But what I've learned as a semi seasoned adult now, um, is that these niggas ain't playing with us. Like, they don't want
Yeah,
black people here, and I'm gonna give them their seat. You can have mine. Okay, you don't want me here? Got it. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go where I am appreciated and wanted, welcomed, and all that kind of stuff. And then two, I just feel like the whole presidency is a joke. They already know who's going to win the presidency, the
That's
election.
true.
They already know who they want in the office. They already know all of these things. At this point, we are just being, played with, and we are just being, manipulated mentally, and they're trying to reel us in into thinking that these two people are at odds, and they may be at odds, but at the end of the day, behind the scenes, they actually might be friends.
yeah,
True.
And so
yeah,
it's about,
yeah,
who can win the argument, who's going to pull out the negative, the who's going to have the jaw dropping thing, like what's next. You've done everything you can, so now what's next? So now we got to hit below the belt. But behind the scenes, it's like, I wasn't serious, right? I'm just playing with you, but we got to play this role. That's what I feel like. And then, two, at the end of the day, honestly, with this election, we need to start over. Like, we just
Yeah.
really need to just start all the way over,
Right.
because neither party are the best. However, I would rather take a half African American woman who knows a little bit about the black struggle and who's far more intelligent and who is more business minded than an angry racist white man who is just loose at the mouth and who really his intention is to get all of America killed. Like,
Right.
you want all of us to die at this point because
Right.
you're just
Right.
angry, you upset.
And getting all the white people all riled up.
Right, because when he started coming for, when he was president and the stuff he was saying about the people in the Middle East, I'm like, don't you know these niggas will come over here and spray all of us?
Right.
Like, even when you was talking about the Chinese people, talking about how COVID was the Chinese disease, and
Yeah.
are you dumb? Like,
Yes, he is.
okay,
Actually, he
you,
is.
And guess what?
I
The
mean,
Asians are just waiting to throw SARS over here, bro. They've been waiting to throw SARS over here. They've been waiting.
Man.
and then you talking about how Haitians are eating dogs and cats. Are
Yeah.
you dumb? Like, oh my God. Like, for me, it's just about, you can't have, okay, so we all have table talk conversation, right? Dinner table conversations. But there's a time and a place to say that and to have
Right.
those conversations.
Right.
I am not going to get on national TV
Right.
and just say some of the stuff that we have in intimates that we say in intimate settings and stuff like that. And so for me, I really don't think Donald Trump care about none of us. I think it is a game, and I think he is honestly just playing. He don't really want to be president. He really
Never
does not
did.
want to. He just want to prove that you could be
He,
whatever you could, as long as you white. You can have whatever you want. You can do whatever you want to
Yeah.
do. He's
Right.
trying to prove. Donald Trump is trying to prove a point, and I don't care what nobody say. There's going to be another fool younger than him that's going to come up behind him, and that is going to be next in the president's seat because he has paved the way for the good old boys.
Right.
And
Right.
black people, if you think we've ever been free, then you really have been asleep these last 900 years. Like, come
Right.
on now. I don't know. I mean, so at the end of the day, I'd rather, I'd rather step out of the race and be like, okay, because this really isn't land of the free and home of the brave. This
No.
is,
No.
you know,
No.
I don't know. Some white people are like, I just really, I don't understand. No, no, no. Somebody told me, they was like, I just feel so bad for African Americans because you guys really have it hard. You really have it. I said, you don't even know the half. You don't even know the half because at the end of the day, you
What's the
can.
white lady? And I'm sorry, Jane
No,
something.
no,
I
no.
can't remember her name right now, but she's come on a lot of times and talked about race. She happens to be a white lady.
Jane
Jane.
Fonda.
No, 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 no. This is an older. This is like she's a sociologist or something like
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
that. I can't think of her
Yes.
name, but you know who I'm talking about.
When she did the survey, it was like, if
She said,
you
every
wanted to
one
be
of you in
black,
here that would trade places with a black person right now,
yes,
raise
raise
your
your
hand.
hand. Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes,
You know who I can't.
yes,
I'm sorry, I can't remember her whole name. It's
yes.
Jane.
Yes.
Jane something. And again, to your point, when you talk about freedom, we can hear, the rhetoric and all that stuff like that. But at the end of the day, show me one white person that can say, based on how blacks are treated in this country, that you'd be willing to trade places with
They
them
will
right
never
here on the
do
spot.
it.
They would
They
never
will
do,
never do it
which is
because they
which is their
they
acknowledgement that's just how messed up the system is.
right. They woke up with a level of freedom, with a level of I can do what I want to
Entitlement,
do. Yeah,
privilege,
entitlement. Exactly.
privilege.
Yes. I watch a lot of my coworkers who are white talk to their supervisors any kind of way. I mean, they're yelling back and forth, cussing and carrying on. I've seen them throw things. I've seen them have cotton picking hissy fits.
And they clock back
And
in.
and they listen, still have a job, still get to do whatever they want to do. Tell them don't do this, don't do that. They still sneaking and doing it. They watch them do it. Listen, there is a guy that I watch sleep every day. And, and today I went to hand him some work, and I said to another coworker, I said, I have to give this to, I'm going to call him Johnny. I have to give this to Johnny, but I don't want to wake him up. He looked like he's sleeping so good.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And they
Mm-mm.
walk by him and watch him sleep.
Yeah.
They sit beside him while he is sleeping. This boy still
Mm-hmm.
has a job.
Yeah.
I blinked too long and they want to know why.
Yeah.
My eyelid got stuck.
I
Jane
do.
Elliott. Jane
I do the
Elliott. That's her name.
same.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
that's her name.
Jane
I do the same thing now at my job that my Caucasian counterparts do. You know, I talk to my management the same way. I, if I don't feel like doing something, I'm not doing it. Why? Because at the end of the day, you don't really want to go to HR with this. And what I do is, when they don't even know that I have a file on my phone of all the stuff that other coworkers have gotten away with. I have the date, I have the time, I have what happened, I have where we were, what was said, what was not said, the whole situation. I got all of this in my phone in a special file. And so now I am a white person at work. My manager asked me to do something the other day. I was like, no, I don't feel like doing that. No. She's like, well, I mean, it's kind of your job detail. Actually, it's not. This is what you call, this is you trying to get me to do busy work. And I'm not
Hey,
going to sit up here and act like I'm busy when I'm not. I'm not doing it. So you can go find somebody else. And she was so appalled. I was like, no, I don't feel like doing that. It's not in my job description. Y'all have actual people to do this, and I'm not one of them.
It's parallel to, and again, this is not about trying to start another conversation about it. The whole OJ thing. If you ask most people, and this is not about innocence or guilt, that's not what this conversation is about. What it's about is that the fact that OJ, as a person of color, took a system, accepted a system that by design is designed to make sure that we as people of color are always on the low end of the stick and won. And more people and most people were more pissed about that than anything else because they were like, what hole did we leave that allowed this to happen? Again, regardless of whether you think he was innocent or guilty, that's not really just the fact that he was able to use a system that was designed to make sure that we would never come out on the good side of a situation like that. And he won.
But you know what,
It,
Mr. Terrence? Nobody has ever asked OJ, what did Nicole do to piss
come
him
on.
off to that point? Because, see, at the end of the day, black men, they ain't just gonna go on no killing spree. You have got to piss us off to the point to where we just black out and we don't even realize what we're doing. Everybody want to talk about OJ, but did anybody ever ask OJ, what did Nicole say to piss you off? What did she say? I'm
Again, that's
sure she
provided
was
that he
throwing
actually did it.
all. I'm sure she was throwing all type of racist slurs, all type of stuff at him. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, listen, I feel like it's just another white woman we ain't got to worry about at Christmas. Next.
And to your point, the girl who was dating Major John Majors, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What did she say?
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
But then she
I
came
don't
back and
condone
said
it.
it
I don't
wasn't
condone
true.
it, but
She recanted her statements though.
mm.
Yeah, after his career basically got canceled on the spot.
Exactly.
I mean,
She
he's
came
making
back.
a somewhat of a
man,
comeback now,
DC
but
picked him back. DC picked him back up as soon as Marvel let him go. And they said, we're going to give you what they were going to give you. And then we're going to give you a little bit more because really what they saw was as a publicity stunt. But it wasn't a publicity stunt. They just wanted to have, some kind of stock in what was going on. But realistically, I say it all the time. Brent, you said it best. I couldn't say it no better. The reality of it is, what did this woman do that pissed you off so bad that made you even want to hire somebody or get somebody? Because here's what I know: he didn't have these problems till he got with you.
Mm-mm.
We didn't see him in no news. He was winning Heisman trophies.
his
OJ
first
So when
killed
wife,
he
her.
gets
there was
with you,
no issue
Yeah.
like that.
He killed
but
her. And that's just
yeah,
what it is.
Yeah, but what exactly happened? So at the end of the day, when you, and I say it all the time, you can talk about a reaction all day, but if we never get to, there's some people who literally go, well, look what you did. Well, we can't deal with what happened. The devil is a lie, so is your mama.
First of all,
Ain't we?
watch your mouth.
We're not gonna sit. What you say?
So watch your mouth. Talking about somebody, mama.
I'm not gonna. No, I'm never gonna do that. But you sit up here trying to make it look like it's we only going to deal with how you acted. No, we're not just going to deal with that. And the reality is, you can say all day, well, what you did got you on the news, and everybody uh chasing you and in a white car with it. But let's just get to it. Let's get, because I don't think anybody ever asked them. Like you said, nobody said, hey man, what happened? I think they just said there are two people dead. They was at your house. We get ready to make it happen. All right, let's go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But
And no,
Sue,
that ain't how that go.
the thing too is that people always are quick to say, "Well, you got to turn the other cheek or be the bigger person." Well, what if I want to be a fool right now? What if I want to? Because honestly, let's talk about this. Everybody has a damn day.
That's true.
Everybody has a day. And see, the thing about it is, my attitude, depending on what day it is, it could be 0 or it could be prison. Those are the only two grades I have. And so,
Yeah.
like, everybody's talking about turn the other cheek, be the bigger person. No, some people just need their ass beat down
I
in the
agree.
moment when it happens because you've been trying me like some little bitch ass nigga, and you really think that I'm not about that life. But it's not until I go up in your throat to where you really see, oh, he really is that nigga. I've been trying to tell you. I've been turning other cheeks. I've been being the bigger person. I've been praying and letting it go. I have been forgiving. I have been I have been doing my job, but you keep effing with me. So now I gotta F you up for you and everybody else to see. Stop playing with me. And I feel like if more people just take the warnings seriously, take the warning shot seriously, then you won't end up dead.
Right.
So it's like everybody want to, talk about what you should have done and what you should have did. But if the shoe was flipped, you wouldn't even take your advice. My mama tell me some stuff, and she'll get the quoting scriptures and get the quoting stuff, and I tell her, honey, you don't even believe that, so don't give it to me.
Hey, Brent, tell us how
So
you really feel.
yeah, I know you don't even believe that. So come on, sis. Don't make me eat the pot roast that you cooked and you ain't eating. No, I don't
That's
want that.
hilarious. That's hilarious.
But that's why.
Wait, pause. Wait,
That's why I
pause. Where's,
say.
I'm sorry.
That's why I say what I say. A lot of times, people will often criticize your behavior and things that you have going on, and the reality of it is that I remember specifically one particular time I got into it with this cat, and it was what he did. It was what he initiated it, and it's amazing how people don't see what starts the problem, but they always see who was handling the problem, right? And
You see
so
the finish, never the
they
start.
see they see they see
And to them,
exactly,
that
and
is
I'm like,
the
yeah, and to me, it was, and I can't. This was the famous question: why you coming at me? Why you not talking to him? And the one thing I would get, because we saw you. So that's basically what you're saying is that you're not gonna deal with this other situation. You know what I'm
Tina
saying?
Turner got her ass whooped for 20 years before she really put her foot in Ike's neck.
Yep.
You see what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right,
She was getting her ass beat like a bad child on Easter Sunday.
right.
Every day. 20 years. You watching this man cheat. Ike has other kids. Y'all
By the singers
still
that you
gotta
were
go
singing
see.
with.
She was singing with a black eye.
Yep.
Somebody put their phone on silence on tonight. My Lord.
Not
That
me. I
beeping
know
is
That's
that.
wearing me
that
out.
sound like an android. That
I was
sound like
about
an
to
That
say the
beeping
same
is
android.
thing. That's an
wearing
that was
me
android.
out.
very
Not me.
androidish.
It's not
That
me.
sound
My
like
Lord.
who is
But
it?
like,
Somebody tell me who it is. Somebody tell me
Turns
who it
on an
is.
android.
But it
my
wasn't
Lord.
me.
I'm
It wasn't
iPhone
me.
Nation. It
But let
wasn't
me
me.
but let me but let me but let me say this, Brent. I know you was going to say something else.
No,
Let
you
me
go
say
ahead.
this though. Here's the reality. We were talking about this earlier, going back to the situation about having power and people being in power and that kind of thing. This is what I know, that realistically, when you get to the meat of the situation, and we were talking about Donald Trump, we talking about just people in power. I want to go back to that. Trump has let me know, and Brent, you said it earlier, but in this vein, Donald Trump has let me know that I remember back when we was kids, we were concerned about the presidency because we were just happy to know that, oh, this is the president. It was a part of our history in school too. We had to know who the president was at home.
That's right.
But nowadays, these kids don't know what we knew before. You know what I'm saying? To know the president now you have an emotional tie to this now. This is not just about political science no more. This is
Right.
about the fact that I don't want my family to die, so I don't want him in office. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I don't want my sister to be told that if she gets, manipulated or dealt with a certain way that she can't go and take care of her body because this man said y'all can't do it. If he raped you, oh well. I don't want that. So we weren't emotionally tied. Back in the day when we were kids, it was more about economics. It was more about the history of the black man. It was, and this whole thing about Black History in February, they can miss me with all of that.
I know that's
Because
right.
the reality of it was, first of all, you gave us the shortest month in the year,
Say that
and
again.
Who gave us
let's right, and let's be clear, Black history is American history, whether you
And it's
want it to be
everyday
or not.
history.
Regardless of what you put in it, regardless of how you put it, regardless of how you said it, the bottom line is that nobody gets to shut us out because you want to try to go back to Jim Crow. We had Martin Luther King that said, love everybody. We just want equality. Malcolm X said, well, I tell
By
you
any
what,
means
by any
necessary.
means necessary, we're going to
right.
get it. Well, guess what? Neither one of them are here now. So
That part.
because of that, we got both of them in our blood, but now we a whole nother race now. I was in where Tanya and I used to live at in Orange County. The Aryan Brotherhood
Oh, y'all
decided
stressing.
they were going to do a rally
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
in Orange County, and they were walking down Harbor Boulevard. Here's the thing: they were
They were
next to
brave.
Disneyland. They were next to Disneyland. They were next to Disneyland. And guess what happened? It wasn't the blacks that got them.
Nope, it was the white folks.
No, it wasn't the white people either.
It was the
It's
Spaniards.
It
facts.
was the Mexicans that did it.
Yes.
what?
The Mexicans said, "Y'all not," because where we
Y'all not
used to
coming
live
here
at in
with that?
Orange County, there wasn't a lot of black people. Tanya, am I right? There wasn't a lot of black people. There was enough of us, but there wasn't a lot. But there was a lot of Mexican families out there. I mean, a
Mm-hmm.
slew of them.
Honey,
And
if
you
they
got to
ain't making
remember,
burritos, I can't stand them.
but you
Yeah.
know,
But go ahead.
but you know what? Let me tell you this: California is really Mexico. I want everybody
It
to be okay
really
Oh,
with
of
that.
is.
course.
It's
Always
it's
has been.
Mexico. It was a
So is
And
bad
so is
Texas.
purchase.
Texas.
It was, of course, Texas too. California was a bad purchase that the United States, we trying to buy up everything, and we bought that side of Mexico, and it just didn't work out. We
It didn't
still,
work out.
there, but at the end of the day, they are literally letting us know that the Mexicans came out there, and when I tell you, they wore those white people out. They had the Confederate flags. They had the white
Man.
on with the red. They were being brave, but the Mexicans came out there and told y'all try it if you want. They showed on the news a little old lady. She couldn't have been no taller than 4'11".
All of
She
them at
had
that
a
time.
she had an axe handle, and she was chasing this white man down. And I kept laughing because I saw other stuff going on. But when you saw that little lady with them glasses on, that silver hair, chasing that man down,
And he was running too,
That
wasn't
is
he
hilarious.
he was 5 feet in front of her. He was good. But the bottom
Man.
line is everybody's not standing for that no more.
Nope.
You know what I'm
Kevin,
saying?
did
It's
you?
interesting that you say that, Kevin, because I just dealing with the climate of where I work right now. While it is a public high school, I keep bringing note to the fact that all the people, first of all, we hired 35 new people for this school year, and there was not one person of color in that group. The one guy that I thought was black actually isn't black. So you hire 35 people that don't look like more than 10% of your student population. That's problem number one. Problem number
Hmm.
two, you're hiring people that are all their names end with vowels. So you know what that means. Problem number three you have is that all the people that are the top executives, if you will, the top administrators, are all white men, with the exception of two. There's a white woman and a black man. And the black man looks like the token. And I said to my mother, I said, now I know you worked here for 30 plus years before I got here. Even while I was a student there, she worked there. And I said, you came in one role as the school's paralegal to the attorney. And when he left, she moved from there into the child study team. I said, first of all, they didn't treat you right. Number two, they didn't pay you right. Number three, I am not of your generation. I am not going to let them abuse me and get away with it. We are a different generation, specifically because of the things that we went through. Now, we saw what y'all went through and we learned from what y'all didn't do. We went through it and we ain't standing for it anymore. Like you said, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X are no longer with us, but we are here. And we've got to raise our voices to say and stand up against this tyranny of these white folks thinking that they can keep oppressing us as black people. Yes, black history is everyday history. Even all the way back to the Civil War, Crispus Attucks was the first person to be killed in the Civil War, and he was black. So we have to do what it is that we've got to do to stand up to say, hey, we're here and we ain't taking your BS anymore.
Right.
Brent, what was you gonna
Did
say?
y'all see that? I was about to say, did y'all see this new video that's going around with that crack up there preaching
Yes.
about how the black church is going to hell and whatever? And he
Yep.
really was talking about the Church of God in Christ
Yep.
and
And
about
Brandon
how
Porter, let him
he
have it.
and he right and he well, I don't like his ass either, but that's another story
Yeah,
for another
yeah.
time. But ooh, just the thought of that man name pisses me off. But anyway, um, so, like I was saying, he was talking about all this and about how the black church is, they endorsed Kamala Harris, and
Or
how
as he called her, Kamala.
Kamala, and how basically the black church is going to hell because they endorse her and they endorse everything that they stand. I mean, they stand by everything that they're talking about, whatever, 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 whatever. And I'm sitting there listening, and I couldn't help but notice a color on the stage with him,
Yes, sir. A whole colored.
and with an afro.
Yep.
And I'm sitting there like,
You know we're
at
trying to
what
figure out what
point
this is,
do
right?
you get up and
Right.
smack? At what point in the sermon did he get his stupid ass up and smack the shit out of him? At what point? Because ain't no way your black ass gonna sit up there and listen to this cracker talk about the African Americans, and you sit
And you agree
your
with him.
and you sit your country ass up there
With an afro.
looking at her
What an afro.
with an afro,
You a
and
whole
you the
black power. That's right. You a
blackest
whole
thing
Black
up
Power
Right.
you
ain't
there,
you
speaking
doing
about us.
this.
and
You
you the
and
blackest
you
thing
stood there with
up
this
there
cracker
besides the
thinking that's okay.
soles of their shoes, and you just listening with a little smile on your face. I said, God, I know you lying to me.
Somebody please send footage of
This
this.
can't
He
be.
had the afro pick in the back of his head too.
Might as well
Yeah,
No, they
right. With
only
the
looking
fist
like
showed.
on it.
undercover brother.
I'm gonna go back and screenshot it. But and then the man kept saying, "I know they're gonna call me racist. I know they're gonna call me this. And that." We ain't gonna call you nothing but what you are.
A
A
coon.
coon.
Yeah.
Cause why would you even? Why would see? This is how I know we ain't really praying for the right stuff
That part.
because
Well,
we everybody want to talk about, let us go back to the old way of church and things of that nature. And though a lot of that stuff that they did back in the day was foolishness, but what was not was their prayer lives,
Right.
right?
That's the truth.
And they didn't wait for something to happen.
They
right. They
I
prayed.
did it all the
remember my
time.
grandmothers and my grandfathers and some of the people that have went before me, the older people in my family. I remember them moaning
Yep.
until the Holy Spirit gave them what to pray for
Yep.
That's the
and
Mm,
truth.
what to pray about.
scripture.
They would literally sit there and just, oh Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, oh God, you know, like that whole type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
then
I love that type
it
of
would
church.
come out,
Listen,
Father, in the name of Jesus, touch so and so, do
Hmm.
this right now. Da, 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 da. Like it would just come out like water. But I think that's what we miss today in church. Everybody
yep.
wants to have an agenda, everybody wants to be famous, everybody wants to be seen, everybody wants a platform, but not everybody is consecrated. Is
Woo.
consecrated, and not everybody has a yielded spirit enough to make intercession
That's
so
true.
that the Lord will receive a sweet smelling savor in his nostrils so that he will heal the land. He said, if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and pray, seek his face, then you got to turn from your wicked ways. Then will you hear from
There's
heaven
a
and I will heal
process.
the land. Like
Yeah.
there are steps to this. You
It's a
see
But
what
the
I'm saying?
process.
condition. It's a
That's the problem.
condition.
That's
It's
the
a
There is a
problem
condition.
condition.
too.
You
It's
can't
yeah,
get to
it
point
is. If
Z.
you I
He
will.
said,
Right.
if
Right.
you,
If you,
If
that is
then
a
I,
then
condition.
if
Right.
then
then
I.
Think
Right.
about
it's the
all those
if then
steps.
clause.
All of those steps. He
There's
says,
steps
after you've
to
done
it.
all of
There's
this,
steps to it.
then will I
Yeah.
hear.
Then he said,
Wait,
I will
and not
forgive their
wait.
sin.
That
No,
yeah.
but
He
then
didn't
I
say
will hear from heaven.
sins.
But he said, then I will hear from heaven. And I
Right.
can't move until I hear from heaven.
But the
Right.
sad
All right.
thing about that, even with that scripture, he's still saying if my people who are called and they having a humility problem.
And yep.
That's the
Yeah.
problem
Well,
that I
wait,
had.
no.
Like,
Well, no, here's the real problem though, Avery. Half of them ain't been called. They
No.
just
yeah,
showed up.
Oh, okay. You talking about Brandon Porter?
I'm talking about a few of them.
I'm talking about
Like
a
this
whole
other
lot
black
of them.
man. Listen, just like
Uh,
he was talking about that this white one that was out here doing this. Did y'all see this black one that's on TV talking about she's a proponent of abortions and she's aborting babies and only black babies she's killing? And I'm looking at the TV going, you're black like me, and you out here making statements like that. You really got to be smoking dog mess
People
well,
don't do
here's what
because
that.
you know that's not what
here's
you.
the reason for that though. But the reason for that is because number one, there's a lot of us. I used to again watching wrestling. There was a guy named Ted DiBiase, and he used to say,
Everybody's got a
"Everybody has a
price.
price,
Yeah,
right?"
everybody does
Yes.
have a price for sure.
So they know who to go to because one thing. This is I love my sister. She's crazy as all heck, but my sister said if somebody can love you even after they know everything there is to know about you,
Yep.
Hmm.
that's true love. I know your
That's true.
flaws, your weaknesses, your downs, your hangups, I know everything, but I still love you and I still respect you. Well, these people in politics don't play like that.
Sure
Nope.
don't.
No.
If I know
It's all about the
everything there is
almighty
to know
dollar.
about you, I'm
I'm
going to tell you.
against you.
If you don't want me to tell the people what you are really
Pay
about,
me.
you better pay me what you owe me.
Yep.
Exposure.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you don't want them to really know who you are, then you got to pay me. And that's what I'm saying. When it comes to these politics and this person who's black saying they're only aborting black babies and all this other stuff, listen, I can tell and read the signs. You got $1 from this
Yep. But what I
because
love about
you,
ABC is they put up a disclaimer before it's shown. The only
yeah,
reason why we're
that,
showing this because of election laws in the United States.
Mm.
We
Yeah,
have to
that
show
that's
wasn't
it,
too
true.
but we do not
controversial. They have
endorse
to
it.
show.
That's
Yep.
true.
And they
Now
said
here's the thing.
we have to show it. And then
They
after the video, after that 45-second spiel went off, then
They
they
do the
put it
same
up again.
disclaimer.
We do not endorse this, but because of
exactly.
election laws in the United States, we have to
Well,
show it.
I know because of that situation, I get it. All I'm saying is that politically, you will always find out who making bread from the situation. It's like
For
war.
sure.
Yeah.
It's like war. When you deal with war, right? First thing about the war is people are dying. People getting ready to die. Somebody gonna get shot. They're gonna produce weapons. All of that. But I want it to be understood that war is a big payday for some people
Yeah.
because if y'all can, if you have time, if you can really look at it, please check out that movie War Dogs. I keep telling people y'all got to watch that movie, right? These dudes literally were selling Chinese ammunition to Iranian military, right?
Crazy.
And they did it with a false company name.
Yep. I got a better
They
one
did
for you.
they
You don't
they
even have to
didn't
do
even
all that. Just go back to
they didn't
2000.
they
Go back
didn't
to
even have
2001.
to they didn't even have to have a legit name. They just went on and made it. These dudes made a whole bunch of money. You know what got them in trouble? They forgot to pay somebody.
Yep.
That's the only thing that happened. And that man had been asking for his money for like weeks and weeks and weeks. And they hadn't paid. And guess how much they had to pay? They were looking to make almost $400 million. They owed this Iranian $105,000.
Oh my God.
So they wanted
They were
all their
making
money.
400 million. He was, and let me tell you, the only reason why he had to pay 20 people with that $105,000. So our money was stronger than theirs. And he had to pay $105,000 for 20 people.
20,
right?
That
For
ain't no
$400 million, and you went down in history as one of the biggest arms dealers because you forgot to pay somebody 2.7% of what you was making. But they weren't black. Because you know, black people, we don't own no planes, we don't own no boats, we don't own we don't have a lot invested when it comes to docking of goods and all. That ain't us. Now you might have something on there. Tiffany Henyard has something on there, and she was, buying stuff from Amazon. It had to come somewhere, right? But she didn't own the boat that brought it in.
Right.
You might have a couple of us black people that own private jets, but we don't own certain and we rent a lot of that stuff, but we don't own these particular kinds of companies and all this other stuff. The guy, I think Tanya and I were talking about it, the man that was when they had the big shutdown at the docks and the boat said we're not coming in and all the shoremen were going on strike. He was like, if y'all really want to see the country messed up, it's not coming from the air or the ground, it's coming from the water. If we stop working, y'all ain't gonna have nothing.
Man.
Because we stopped trading with cars, we stopped food, we stopped medical supplies, we stopped all that stuff. And guess what? When coronavirus hit and everybody was home doing whatever, the shoremen were not off work. They were working, and then they lost a lot of people. And that man said, all I want is to be paid for the suffering that we went through while all y'all was home ripping the stores out of toilet paper and paper towel.
Ask for.
Yeah. And so all I'm saying is that with everything that we talked about, the literal meaning of all of this is that, and I guess we can do it. Some of y'all could deal with it. But now we're talking about the middle class, upper class, and lower class. You know what I'm saying? Well, where I'm seeing it at now, ain't no middle class no more.
That caste system is gone.
That whole thing is gone. You either low or you high. If you got to get up and go to work every day, that's just what people do. That's what we do. You get up and go to work. We get that. But at the end of the day, if you going to work every day,
it's crazy.
And you still don't. It was like, yeah, I was living in California. Tony, he lived in Brea, and he said, I live in Brea, and I can't. He said, I made $105,000 a year in Brea. He said, I still wasn't able to buy a house.
Yep.
They wouldn't even let me buy a house because I only made $105,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting up here like, and he white. So now it's either low class or upper class. It ain't no middle. If you're not making a certain
low class or the top 1%.
Or top 1%. And if you're not in that top 1%, you are considered low class. And I it's amazing to me. We can all sit here and talk about it, but the reality of it is, if none of us are meeting that 1%, if we're not on that top tier, if we're not a part of that, then they looking at us like we low class.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what they doing. How much you make a year? Oh, you only make 50, 60, 70 grand. Oh yeah, nah, you all right. You eligible for welfare in our book. And that's the kind of, so we talked about earlier with the police, right? Listen, a lot of these cops are out here doing what they do because they're able to. They're able to be idiots. They get paid to be evil. They get paid. There's a society out there that I read about a while ago in Los Angeles. There's a club within the LAPD that they've been trying to shut down for the longest because these dudes got tattoos. They running around with skulls and guns going through the head of the skulls and stuff. Like they on some other stuff on that.
So they like a game.
It's a
Within the
gang
Yeah,
in the
it's
police
the
department.
police
Yeah,
department. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
those are a lot of the ones that actually incite the violence in the towns and make
absolutely.
everybody think that it's everybody else.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
it's
know if
them.
I don't know if anybody ever saw it. There was a documentary maybe about 2 years ago now, that came out, and it was talking about how these cops, they are supposedly real cops. But what they do is they will put on these masks that are equivalent to the masks that they use in Hollywood to really make them look like somebody else. And
yeah.
they're going out on the street and they're inciting violence and they're killing people and they causing other people to kill people, and they're getting away with it because everybody's going to look for this quote unquote suspect who doesn't exist.
Yo, I often get this wrong, and I want to say it the right way. But is the terminology life is what is it called? Impersonating art? Or,
Life imitates
life
art.
Life
Art
imitating
imitating
art?
art.
Okay. I
Yeah,
always get that wrong.
Hollywood's been doing that for years.
But Hollywood has been telling, when we saw Training Day, they gave us a glimpse of that.
Yeah.
When we saw the Simpsons, I know y'all think it's funny, but it's the truth.
No,
The
the Simpsons
Simpsons
been
been
accurate for
telling, they've
years.
been telling us for years. When I didn't realize this, I was telling Tanya about this too. When Paul Walker died
Yep.
mm.
from
Fast and
Fast and
Fast and
Furious.
Furious saga,
Furious.
right? Do
Yeah.
you know that Family Guy had that same instance happen before he died?
Yep.
Really?
They
The
had the
the
same thing
dog
with.
the dog's name is Brian,
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
and Brian
And
got into
Brian
an
dies in a
accident
car
and his
crash.
car wrapped around a tree.
Yep.
And there was a
And
cartoon that did the same thing about Kobe. When
Yep.
Kobe died,
Yeah.
yeah, before he died, he died in a helicopter
the
crash. And
helicopter.
Yes.
Yeah,
and this is why I say again that we have to be very careful and look at things for what they are. You know, these people have been letting us know, and I believe that's the reason why a lot of them. I've seen these unsightly deaths, and how did he die? How did he get sick? He was fine 2 days ago, and now,
Right.
it's like because they've been telling the truth without showing their faces. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? But they can see who the director of the show is, or who the producer is, or who the writer is, or, and they killing these people because they basically are telling the truth through art.
Right.
Like I said, I always talk about enemy of the state. I remember people used to be like, man, they can't find me. No, sir,
Big Brother's always
ma'am.
watching.
You are just not important enough to go get. That's
But
all.
can we
only
talk about how that
That's
was
all.
actually 50 years beyond George Orwell writing 1984 and
We,
Animal Farm?
hey,
They've been talking
bruh,
about Big Brother been watching us since the 40s.
when Buck
And this is
Rogers and
exactly why.
Battlestar Galactica was out,
Right.
when all of them, even Star Trek was
Yep.
telling us that. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Buck Rogers was telling us that. What's the other one that came? I remember when Automan was out. Y'all probably don't know nothing about that. But I remember when Automan was out, Automan would sit there and literally, and he had a cursor, right? And he would say, "Cursor, draw me a car." He drew him this bad Lamborghini, draw him a DeLorean or whatever. He was like, "Cursor, do this, do that." He said, "Cursor, I don't know where I am. Give me my location." This was back in 1983.
Can I give you a better one? Knight Rider.
or
Yeah.
better yet, the Jetsons. That was
The
The
another one.
Jetsons
Jetsons,
in
the
the
Jetsons told
60s.
us
Yeah.
everything. The Jetsons
Yeah.
told us everything.
Yep.
Jetsons told us everything.
They told us
And
about Zoom calls before Zoom was a thing.
That's
yeah,
the truth.
Star Trek was doing it. They was like, yeah, we talking to, but on stage they was just talking through a glass,
Yep.
right? But they was making it look like Spock was on a whole nother part of the planet, and then they over here on Earth. That whole thing was going on. They already knew.
How about this? This is going to tell my age a little bit, but there used to be a cartoon comic strip called Dick Tracy.
Yep.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
Now, if you
Yep.
remember, one of the key things about Dick Tracy,
his watch.
he had what they call a two-way talking.
A
Yep.
two-way talking
Yes, he
Xbox.
did.
Yep.
Yes,
Now, as a kid, we said, "Wow, that's amazing!" And what are we doing right now?
Right now.
Yep.
Talking
that's
to our
true.
watches.
So,
Yep.
like you said,
I
Inspector
think
Gadget was another one.
That's
yeah,
true.
he just had all that stuff, and I think that's the
Oh,
reason why
Gadget.
we had
Go
we had
gadget.
we had so many instances where when you really look at it, we had to really pay attention to the fact that realistically what's going on now, we can talk about all the shows that showed us, But the Bible taught us that years ago, way before the shows even came out. That this was going to happen. So, I often look at what happens and where we are, and it amazes me how you can go back and see that this was already written, that this was going to happen. I was watching a documentary while I was working on the computer. I had the TV on, and they were showing this thing it's on Amazon Prime. It's called Slipping. It's called Life with the Bloods or something like that. And every one of these gang leaders, they all kept referencing the Bible, all of them. And I was like, well, now if you and not one of them was wrong. They didn't word it wrong. They didn't say the passages wrong. They didn't quote the
Even the
scriptures
devil
wrong.
knows scripture.
Yeah, but listen, my point is that even they know it. But with all of that being said, the reality of it is people gonna do what they want to do.
Yeah.
You can know what it is, but people gonna do what they want to do. If they choose to be a gangbanger, they're gonna do that. If we get a president that chooses to start a war, he gonna do that. He gonna do it. You know who waiting on us right now? Kim Jong-un. He wants us more than doggone.
He can stay right where he at, bro.
But he ain't the one. It's his sister.
His sister, yeah.
His sister is like 9,000 times worse than he is.
And Kevin, remember that story about his brother?
Hey, I'll let Tanya tell you that this crap.
I can't
Well, let me
remember that
tell
whole
it.
thing.
No, okay, I remember. So here it is, right? There was a man who was getting ready to go to
be the
Korea.
next.
He was going to be the next emperor of Korea, right? So he got to this airport, and while he was at the airport, I'm just paraphrasing a little bit so we don't have to be all night, but I want you to expound on it. He turned around, he went over, he got in the airport. He's a Korean. He's a big one though. He's one of those big ones. And he was walking through the airport, and these two women came up to him and they were talking to him.
Mind you, the women been doing this to people all throughout Korea. Now they're in the airport doing this.
Now they're in the airport doing this to people, right?
That's crazy.
So they sat up there and he was talking to these women, and basically they were like call girls. Basically, they were like,
Make you smell stuff.
Yeah. So they went over and he was trying to walk away from them. They went over and got in front of him again, and they went and rubbed his face, right? And so when they rubbed his face, they walked away. They left. He turned around to find out where they were at. He couldn't find them or whatever. And so for a little bit of time, it was cool. But then all of a sudden, he started getting dizzy. He was having cold sweats. He was shaking. Stuff was going on. He was trying to wipe. So he went inside. He washed his hands, and he wiped his face, and he got worse. So now he's sitting at this airport. He's sitting down. Now you got people coming around him. Sir, are you okay? He was like, oh my God, I can't see. His eyes are getting red. He's can't breathe. He's having all these problems. When the EMTs got to the airport, they were going to take him back to the hospital. He was pronounced dead. Now watch this. He has a brother. Now I told y'all, he was going to Korea to become the next emperor of Korea. He has a brother. Come to find out that the two ladies, one of them didn't know what was happening at first.
They both didn't know.
They both didn't know. And they didn't know because they were acting like it was an acting job. So there was another guy that was there pushing these two women to go to him, and we're going to do this or whatever. I'm a movie director. So I want you to do this. We're going to pay you a lot of money to do this, but I'm going to have you guys go over to this man. It's kind of a prank, but and they fell for it. They didn't have no money. So they was like, they're two Asian, women. So they was like, okay. They played the game. The guy that told them he was going to pay him, they couldn't find that guy. They didn't know where this so-called director was. He had a couple more people with him. They looked like there was a whole crew. The girls went to find out where he was. They couldn't find him nowhere. So after the guy that rubbed his face with the solution, they found out he had died. The two girls got caught. They took them to jail, right? One of them got off because of who she was affiliated with. She turned around and they fought for the other girl to get out because they found out later she didn't have nothing to do with it. Right? They told them what happened, found out that it was all supposed to be a prank, whatever. Let me get to the point. The point was this man was going to be emperor of Korea. He was going to be the head honcho, and his brother was Kim Jong Un. Kim Jong Un sent sent the guy over there to find two women to put this baby oil like stuff on his face that they later found out was laced with a whole bunch of crap, so that when it got in his system, the fumes from the solution got in his system and literally killed him.
Ain't that about a ditty?
So can you
And
imagine?
y'all know again when you talk about art imitating life. I mean that's Rush Hour. They had that in Rush Hour 2.
They did have
Um,
it. They did have
yeah,
it.
and it's
But
also been in other movies with Bruce Lee, and they talked about all the stuff with oil. But yeah,
yeah,
Diddy, that's a whole other story, Avery.
but this is the thing.
But did he?
When they found out what was going on, they could not. Now, as a country, I'm gonna tell you what I found out later. They did not try these two women because the United States didn't want no heat with Korea. So what they did was they said, "Y'all come get them. We ain't gonna do nothing to them. We just gonna hold them. But y'all come get them because we don't want no smoke with Korea." Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. Kim
But they
Jong
didn't,
Un. Go ahead. Go ahead.
so they didn't have anything to do. One was from like the Philippines, the other one from somewhere else. They didn't have
Yeah,
anything to do
but
with
they
it.
didn't have it. But that ain't the point. The point ain't right. They didn't have nothing to do with it. But the point was that Korea was like, give us a reason to press this button. So if y'all remember a couple years ago, Kim Jong Un fired a missile that went over Guam and somewhere else. He said, "Oh, it was just a test missile," but he had it go directly into the water, which lets you know that he has the power to send that missile to my house if he wants to, like for real. So at this point, y'all talked about Donald Trump, y'all talked about Kamala Harris, y'all talked about all of that. Here's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is that neither one of these people need to say nothing stupid, which is why Brent was saying Donald Trump on here talking about Haitians and talking about, people eating dogs and, saying all this other stuff. The reality of it is that I think what's going on now that we got ISIS, we got Russia, we got Korea, we got these people don't like us and they could hit us from any which way they want to. Any which way they
But
want to,
Kevin,
they could hit it.
we're in bed with him. That's what I was saying before about going back to 2001. When you look at the war on terror, that whole thing with Saddam Hussein, Osama bin Laden, and George Bush, that is such an old thing because the three of them were business partners back in the 80s trading oil.
Bruh.
And
And
they ran
power and
into
electricity.
right,
That's right.
but
That's right.
they ran into an issue where one person thought the other one was making too much money, and then all of a sudden it became a thing. But at the same
And
time, all
right.
parties were making money off of this war. People were dying, and
And
they were
here's what it
making
was.
billions.
What Bush was. I was gonna say Bush. No, sorry. With
You got it
Bush,
right.
Yeah,
what what
what he was, that's exactly what he
what,
was.
what Bush did was Bush went over. Bush Jr. pulled all the money out of the company with Bin Laden's brother
Yep,
and took the money and came back to the States. Bin Laden's brother noticed that the money was gone.
was missing.
He
Yep,
was coming to find out what happened, and his plane crashed.
sure did.
So Bin Laden said, "Oh, that's what y'all doing? Your streets will be filled with blood." And next thing you know, there go 9/11. And
Well,
that's
they
exactly
tried
what
it in
happened.
'93 first, and
Yeah,
then
they
realized,
did.
hey,
You
we
can't do it from the
realized
bottom,
that we
Doc.
can't do it from the bottom. We got to do it from the
No, you
top.
gotta do it from the top. Can't do it from the
And it
bottom.
took them eight
That's right.
years, but they did it.
Yeah. And whoever made the Twin Towers didn't realize that you got to protect the top and the bottom because anything. But nobody knew about a plane, though.
No, but
That
think
was
about it.
just
They
nobody knew
when they
about
built
that.
them, all they knew about planes because that wasn't open until the '70s. But what they did was they made it to implode. So they
Yeah,
made
yeah,
it so
yeah,
that they
yeah.
would come straight
Hey,
down on themselves.
hey, Tanya and Tracy, y'all do know that one of the pilots of a plane was a female, right?
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah.
It was a whole woman. Some man pissed her off. some,
Yeah, you did.
some dude
It was
pissed
that
her
time
off.
of the month, brother.
Because women,
Right.
women
That's
do
all it
not,
takes.
women don't do that. Women don't do
Emotional.
that.
Mhm.
No.
Women
Saying
don't do
says
that.
hell hath no fury.
Like a woman
Woman
scorned, Doc.
Somebody broke her
And
heart.
hell hath no fury
Right.
like a woman of color scorned. I don't care what
Yeah.
nobody says.
We talked
What
about
did I
that
say
earlier
before?
too.
What did I say before?
We talked about
Because
that
of a black
earlier.
woman, you done something major.
Cause when a woman's fed up,
There
She'll
ain't
bust the
nothing you can
windows out
do
your car.
about it.
Oh Lord.
Seems
She will
like you're
bust the
running
windows
out of
out your car.
love,
I tell people that you stupid.
but it's too
I
late
tell
to
people
talk
that.
about it.
I tell people that all the
Sing
time.
it
I'm
with
like,
me.
if you tell me there's something wrong with your car, a woman did that. Cause ain't no man got time to be messing with nobody's car. But they gonna come, they
No,
gonna beat
no.
your windows out, they gonna knock your mirrors off, they
I'll
gonna
bust the
flatten your
windows out
tires.
your car.
you
And
see
that
that?
song was very prophetic.
Yes,
That
it
they
was.
telling you exactly what they doing.
I
They
have
bust the windows.
I have
Go
a
ahead,
whole
Tracy. Go ahead, Tracy.
like that. I
You
say I
busted
can
the
make it
windows
look
out.
like an
Oh,
accident.
you know
He's
Tracy's a
done.
thug. You know she busted plenty of windows out in her day.
How many sugars you put in their tank?
I
That
mean,
part.
you know, I can make it look like an accident. What you need done?
See what I'm
See,
saying?
Told you.
The
see,
more we let her
the
talk, the
more we
more we
talk.
find out.
She's about that thug life. I keep trying to tell y'all.
Keep
Tracy
on
telling
talking,
herself.
Tracy. We with you. Go ahead. Keep
She don't
right
want
on
to say too
talking.
much.
Just say
She don't want to incriminate herself,
Exactly.
Mhm. How's your
just
husband
in
tonight?
case.
We ain't heard nothing from the man in a
We ain't
few
heard,
days.
yeah, your husband's eye okay. You still haven't said anything about that.
yeah,
He
he
went to go
good.
get he went to go
It's
get
the
his
laugh.
teeth done, and that was the end of
It's
it.
the
Yo,
laugh.
if y'all
It's
would have
the
see, she ain't got a camera on. You see how she laughing? Hey. When we told that to Tracy, she was like, I don't know where he at. I don't know. What you mean you don't know?
all we heard was
Yeah.
He had to go
Damn.
get some
And
new
him,
teeth
and
today.
that when she said, and he'll
Lord.
be all right. I'm like, oh.
That's what Terrence, you remember that?
She said, oh, he'll be all right. I'm like,
I said,
oh,
Tracy, where's he at? I don't know. He'll be all right.
He'll be all right.
She got that fool in
He
the
won't do
corner.
that again, though. I can tell you that he won't do that again.
Next time he go to dentist, he better
Right,
take
he
oh,
Tracy
he
with
really
him.
won't. He may not be able to do
Hey,
anything again
he
no more.
did that
You don't know what that
today.
woman did to that man.
He did what
He
today?
did what today?
I had to go to the dentist with him.
Oh
You
Oh,
Lord.
went with him this
see,
time.
see, Tracy, they ain't
He had
right.
to get some new teeth today.
Lord of mercy.
See,
Why he have to get new ones? What do you need
what's
new
wrong?
ones for?
Because he
Because the
keeps
old ones
breaking
ain't
his
there.
dentures. I've never known anyone to
Is
break.
he
We
breaking
talk.
them or
Or
Tanya,
is
what you
we
say?
breaking?
I don't want you to say any more on this.
No, Tracy, say no more. You don't incriminate yourself, girl.
Who, me?
Do not incriminate yourself.
No, Tracy.
Why would I do?
Oh,
Tracy went in the bathrooms and took them dentures and broke them and went right back to bed?
He was like,
I'll
whatever,
bust your dentures in your mouth.
whatever you think you're gonna get tonight, you won't be eating it from this mouth. Not with these dentures, bro.
she was like, I made
Campbell
chicken.
soup is your supper
She was
tonight.
like, I made you chicken, but you ain't got no teeth.
She said you're gonna be sipping through a straw this
I
whole
got,
night.
Right.
I got soup for, I got some soup for you.
I'm
I got some
blending
tops for
chicken.
you.
Some broth.
She gave me some ramen noodles.
All right, let's get off.
All
Let's
right,
get
we
off
done. All
our
right, that's
brother.
enough on
Lord,
Tracy.
I
Just a
love
little
it.
humor, Tracy. That's all.
It's
All right, Bishop
good.
Rutherford.
Look, she said I don't care.
But
No,
Tracy, what was
she
that?
like let's keep talking about it.
She said it's all good.
What the devil just happened?
What was that?
I think that was me. It's me. It's me.
What was
I'm
this?
trying.
Like, what in the world is this?
I'm trying some new technology that Tanya told me about, and this is what it
For that.
is.
Oh, that's the video.
Oh, you sharing the video? Listen,
That's
this
like
thing
you
had me
can play the
cracking up,
one.
okay?
Is this that song?
Yes, it's that stupid song.
This my joint.
Scott,
Man.
tell them what happened Thursday with that song.
So you sent it to us, right? And so I hit it on Apple Music. We were at Tops. And I was like,
No,
we were
you
cracking
wasn't
up.
that top.
Don't tell
Yes, we
Tanya
were.
that. Don't tell Tanya
No, but
that.
wait a
Don't tell
minute. So
Tanya
we
that.
we were there before the funeral.
You see
No,
that?
I don't
You
care.
And
see
it
that,
started.
Kev?
It started going ding, 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 ding. Your mother said, Kevin, your mother was like, what in the world was that? I said, this song that Tracy got to
Oh,
play for Praise and Worship on Sunday.
And then
It
for the
would
rest of
not
the day,
come
every
off of
time
my
we got
phone.
in the
Every time
car,
I got in my car, it kept coming back
it
on.
kept
I was
playing.
like, oh my God.
I said, oh, I got to hear this song.
Tracy,
But
I
you,
want to tell you something. I was in the bed, knocked out when that went off, and I turned that song on. I sat up in the bed. I said, "What the hell is this?
Right, that's
Man,
exactly what I said.
What are you talking about? What?" Now
Did
here's
y'all
my
really do it,
question:
Tracy?
did you do that song?
Yes, we did.
No way.
How?
Tracy,
I
how you
missed
do
it.
that song?
How much
Listen.
liquor was involved for
It's
you
in
to
the
get
group
through that
chat.
song?
Yeah, she sent
Yes.
it last week.
Okay, I gotta go back and look.
Yeah,
I
it's
said,
last
what in
week.
the
Yeah,
world is this?
I
Wait,
was
you
like, yo,
actually
I
did
feel
it
so
though.
bad.
It was very interesting.
What kind of deal was this?
Did the Holy Spirit fall?
Did you bop? Did you like bop like this?
No, I did not bop.
Okay, just want to know.
That ain't
Okay,
nothing to bop to.
did you stand up? Did you stand up because it was fire, or did you sit down because you was like?
I was
No,
just waiting for
I
somebody to
sat
come out
on
and
the
start singing
stage.
like a rhinestone cowboy. That's what it sounded like to me.
That's exactly what it sounded like.
Where
Was this shown
tonight?
on a live?
Why
Can we go
did you
back?
It sounded like
Like a Sean Sutherland.
you can't take our people
I was
nowhere,
about to say you
bro.
can't take
Nowhere.
black folks nowhere.
Well, they
Everything
whatever
else.
that is,
But the
they're
funny
from
thing
Brooklyn.
was,
They're from Brooklyn.
listen,
With that
listen.
vibrato,
The
absolutely.
organist, listen, y'all. The organist went with him though. How did
Yes,
he
he did.
even know that?
Because they
Because
might be
they were
sitting
probably
near
sitting
Because
him.
near
when they
him.
They could be sitting near
yeah,
where the booth is.
he literally ended the song. He literally ended the song
Hit that and
like,
hit that switch. That sucker was
yeah. I was like,
that
wait
thing
a
was
minute.
spinning.
I said, what? Why are you? I don't
He was searching
understand.
too.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, he was. This was funny. Wait a minute. I'm trying to bring it back up because y'all got to hear what
You gotta,
he did at the end. That crap
he
was
flipped that switch.
hilarious.
He gave you a
No.
James Cleveland ending.
Well, they right.
I couldn't. I said, wait a minute.
He
He said
gave
he
a
did the
James
same.
Cleveland ending.
They
Yep.
are right by the organ player,
Right by the
and there's
organ.
only about 25 people up there. So
But yeah, it looked like there wasn't nobody else up there.
When
right.
he did that one,
But that was funny.
that four, that
Yeah,
flat
that
four,
four. I was
one.
like, wait, why would you? But my question was, why? How would you even?
Church.
Well, you know, a lot
Like,
of
how
those
would you
organists are
even know
black,
that?
actually. No, a lot of those organists are black.
Oh, here go, y'all. Terrence, here you go.
I knew you were lying.
He taught me how to live my life as it should be. He taught me how to turn my cheek to people and look at me.
Is
I've
it for
been
me?
friends before, and I can tell you that he's one who will never leave you flat. Jesus is my friend. Jesus is a friend. I have a friend with Jesus. Jesus is my friend. Jesus is a friend of mine. He taught me how to pray and how to save my soul. He taught me how to praise my God and still play rock and roll. The music makes me separate with the message each and same day. It's just meant to praise His name. Jesus is my
Look
friend.
at Brent. Brent is really looking to it.
Absolutely, it's phenomenal.
But this is the one though.
Oh my
That's
God!
it.
That's the song. And I literally
Yes.
said, what the hell is going on with this song? Did somebody play a banjo?
Tracy,
No. The pastor played a 12-string guitar.
No
oh
What?
way.
no,
Oh wow.
oh no!
Is this a mixed congregation?
It was when I
Don't
got there.
sound like it. Oh, yeah, when you got there.
They was do-si doing and everything there.
Man, this makes me laugh all night, every night.
I'm like,
I
oh my
just,
God.
I couldn't
Prayer bells of
understand it.
heaven.
I was like, why,
Jesus is the
like,
friend
why
of mine.
is this happening?
Prayer bells of heaven, because
Why
it's
is
the
that
prayer bells of
happening?
heaven. It's the prayer bells from heaven.
I'm sorry, joy bells keep ringing in my soul. I don't know what them prayer bells are.
Well,
He threw the microphone. I knew I saw something fly in the air. I knew I saw something flying.
Is that the why are you sitting there? That one?
No. Oh yeah. He said, "Well, God has
Yeah.
done something for you," and he
Are you
took that
sitting there?
microphone and flung that thing like you would not believe, bro. Church, you can only you're not gonna find this nowhere else.
No, it's black
No,
church.
ain't black church, man. I just
Well, you know,
So
Jesus is a friend of mine.
hey, glory.
Balansma.
Shando.
It's country
yeah.
and it is aggravating. But when you think about the words, Shara, I know for myself
I know
Oh
for
my
myself.
God.
I know for myself.
that he's a friend of mine.
Eat a
Well,
mosquito.
I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna tell
Wait,
y'all.
what you wait, Avery, what you just say?
From
I said eat a mosquito.
You guys are crazy. Y'all stupid.
Some people need their mosquito ate, but it's all right.
But you know what? I can't. I'm not messing with him tonight.
I'm gonna
Eat a
do this
mosquito.
tonight for y'all. I'm gonna do this tonight. I wanna say this. I try to be. I don't know how good of a job I do. I try to respect everybody's time a little bit. Then sometimes I don't. But tonight, Tanya has to be at work at 5 o'clock, and she has to be there very early.
Why you gotta
So
be to work so early, Tanya? That's dumb.
It is dumb. I'm doing something dumb this week. I'm working 10 hours and I'm starting at 5 a.m.
Oh,
all
all right.
week.
And I started
So
at
with that,
6 or
so I'm not
so
gonna call you when I land then, because I don't land until 10:30.
Oh, listen, I'm off on Friday. Listen.
Oh,
you
you
don't
birthday? Okay.
you don't have to. Okay. So
You don't have to
so
call.
yeah. So
Avery, when do you get in?
well,
Next Wednesday.
Okay.
I
Where
said
you
that
going?
about 11 times.
Big ass.
I know, honey. I
Oh.
can't keep up with everybody's schedule. I can only keep up
Rasana.
with
No, I
me.
had to say it 11 times because
Yo,
I
y'all
really
pray my
thought Scott
strength.
was here tonight.
I'm
I
gonna be
thought he
out
was here
there.
tonight.
I'm
We're not
flying
here
in
till
on a
tomorrow.
You're
red
24
eye.
hours early, sir.
And then
You're
you
24 hours
leave.
early.
No, but
When
I'm
do you
saying I'm
leave
flying
from?
there tomorrow, but I land back in Jersey on Monday morning. I'm doing a red eye coming back.
Oh,
Land on Monday
perfect.
morning, coming home, showering, changing my clothes, packing another bag, and getting on another plane to go to Ohio. I got to be out there for a funeral on Tuesday. I'm like, yo, it's a lot.
You damn.
Kevin, Jocelyn's grandfather passed.
Oh
Jocelyn's grandfather?
no.
You know what?
Oh no.
Yeah,
Man, please give him my condolences,
And
man.
will
I
do.
didn't know that.
I'll be
And then,
flying
It's
over
crazy.
you Friday
and then
morning. I'll be flying
Avery,
over you
when
Friday
you get
morning.
here
I'm
Wednesday, you
going
leave
to LA.
when?
The
You
second.
fly where?
Second.
Where?
So I'm
LA.
from Wednesday to Saturday.
What part of LA?
I have no clue.
Oh.
Where the
Well,
Korean people are.
Terrence is gonna be in Los Angeles, so he'll be down the street. Avery will be here next week. Scott will be here tomorrow.
Terrence can take a little
Um,
flight all over here. It costs $30.
And
it
guess
costs
what?
$30.
And Tanya, I'm waiting for you to come pick me up from the airport.
Wait, $30 for a
Ah!
flight from LA?
I'm waiting for
No,
you.
no. Tanya.
Huh?
He's baiting you.
I
Don't
get
do
what he's
it.
doing, and I'm
Hard.
gonna go get
I'm going to be
him.
He's
sitting there waiting
Gotta
for
be
you to come.
faster than that.
baiting
Unlike
you.
him,
Oh, you gotta be quicker than that.
Get him.
Gotta be quicker than that.
You almost had it.
Plenty of room.
You almost
And there'll be plenty of room. I won't have you sitting on top
Yeah,
of
we're
somebody.
not gonna have you in a car full of people and luggage. We're not gonna do that. Like
No,
sardines.
Tanya's going to go out there and
Sardines with
volunteer to pick
coats
up
on.
20 more people in her car
He had
just
some
so she
people
can give
looking
me
like
that
this.
experience. I
They
promise
was
you.
looking like this driving down the street.
Yo, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, he.
Tanya's
It was.
gonna go
I
sue.
promise you.
She's
I
gonna go
don't.
sue
I,
the
Right.
they.
airport and just
They.
find like 5 more
Tanya,
people.
you.
Come on, get in.
Tanya, you said what kind of car it was. I don't remember what kind of car
It
was
was
it.
like
that the
a
people-
Passat. I'm making that up, but it was like a small
Okay.
little
Okay.
Focus.
Cool. Okay. So just imagine 15 people in a Passat with luggage.
with smiles on their face.
And
They
where
were
was
happy.
this?
This was in New
I
Jersey,
hope
Scott.
all
When
of
I
them.
was doing that concert for Walter, Andre,
Oh,
and
you know what? You did say that. You did tell us about that.
Like people cause heat. It was cold over there.
it was freezing, but they was hot. That's how they all looked in there. That's how they all looked.
Except for some
That
of
ain't.
them
That
were
ain't.
like
That
this.
ain't.
Some
Yeah,
were
that
They
ain't
said
good
one
enough.
person had their face
Some
against
were
the
like-
wall like this, like
You telling me that somebody had a
Hey.
afro in the car?
Hey, that was Lil Chris. Lil Chris was literally, his face was literally on the window like this. He was like, "Oh my God, we can't wait to get there."
It was
so
like,
happy to be here in New York.
Wow.
just happy.
Wow.
And
Yeah, it was
happy.
crazy. So tonight, we're gonna get off. I got a whole pizza here. I need to eat too.
Wait a minute. You're spending money you shouldn't be spending money on. Oh my gosh. Y'all gotta give us some counseling.
And a
Lord
hush
mercy.
fell over Jerusalem.
Okay, I'll bring him up. He
Oh
wants to talk.
shoot! And there she go.
Oh Lord, she got that thing out again.
We're gonna call that thing heart attack. That's the new name.
Yeah, that's his name.
And
Put
it's-
HA
and
on
you
it. Ha,
always-
A Avery. Ha. That's the name of it. Ha. Heart attack.
He's so precious. I can't read none of these words.
It says ha.
It says ha.
Listen,
You know what it says?
It say you know eat, you know eat, you know live.
Hey Scott, you know what it said? It don't matter what we say. You eat this, you
Right.
die.
You
You eat this, you
die.
die.
It
Don't
just
even
You
says,
understand
die.
that?
Don't even
it
die.
says I blow
Yeah,
you.
Kevin, you still yearning for it. You still yearning for that image.
That
You
is
still yearning
hilarious.
for it.
I'm not
Yo,
yearning for
Avery,
that.
you dumb.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, I heard them.
I blow you.
Hey, yeah, blow you.
Then I blow you.
No
I kill before, I kill again.
I kill before I kill again. The blacker man. I got you. All right, yo. So we coming off a little early tonight. Like I said, I got a pizza I gotta eat.
Right.
Okay, 2 slices, maybe 3.
You lying for
2,
slices.
3,
5.
8. What's the difference?
Exactly.
No, hey, real quick before y'all get off, let me say this. I want to be honest about this. The real deal is Terrence, I was gonna put this up today. I decided not to do it. We won't be on here much longer. It was talking about the 10 worst foods to eat. And every item on that list I eat. So I have to stop because it showed you what and some of it happens with time, some of it happens immediate.
The long-term
But
effect.
it kills you. It's the processed food. It's all that stuff.
Just name one of them.
Hot dogs.
I was about to say hot dogs for
Alright.
sure.
The nitrates in that stuff literally goes
Yeah.
to your blood and it messes with your blood flow. It messes with you.
But baby, did
Bologna.
they say anything about me?
And we're moving.
Oh,
Wait,
And
what?
Wow.
Oh, I
Wait a
called-
minute.
No, no, no.
And he
Jesus.
said he read a list of
Things that are the
the
worst
10 bad
And her
things
question
to
was, well,
eat.
what about me? That's what the woman said.
Jesus.
You
Did
weren't
I
you
get that
weren't
right?
you weren't you weren't on the list, but why
That's
did you-
right.
okay.
That's right. Okay,
Okay.
keep going. Hot dogs.
She's on the best list.
Well, here's the deal. If she eats the MSG and
See, there you go.
Yeah, see?
I'm not
Get a
eating
Tracy.
it.
Get a Tracy.
I'm just
Get a
saying.
Tracy. Get a Tracy.
I'm
There's
just
a way to
saying.
work it. That's right.
Turns out Tracy is gangster like none of us can even
Tracy, I think about maybe 2 more episodes and you're gonna be running this damn show.
I don't eat it. I don't eat it. He's only a character. I don't eat it. It sits right here on my menu.
Tanya, you already ate it though. You told us you ate it.
It's open.
Funny. I never ate it.
There's some missing.
There's some missing if it's open.
No, it's not. Tracy, be on my side. You're not.
I am on your side, Pisces.
That thing
Whatever.
look a little empty.
It looked
at
a
the
little
top.
low.
It was low. Yeah, it wasn't like that last time you showed it
No,
to
it
us.
wasn't.
she forgot to put some sugar back in it to mix in the mix.
Fox put some flaxseed. It's the same thing.
First of all, it's salt. Okay. And so, I'm sorry.
Okay.
But no, I didn't.
Nah,
touch it.
that's ha.
That's heart attack. That's ha. Next time I see that bottle, I'm gonna go ha.
No.
Tracy said, ha ha.
Or like they do on the movies.
What is this? Ha. What happened if you eat it? Ha ha.
Uh-huh.
No, it's more like aha.
Aha. Nah, but it's
Right.
Asian. It ain't Jewish, bro. We gotta take it the other way.
That's true.
It's Asian, bro. So we get ready to get off. Listen, we doing it a little early tonight, but
Oh God,
one
here
of our
come Brent.
members has to get off a little early, and this is only going to happen this one time because we're going to try to make sure that she stays on.
I'm not doing
but
this
you know,
again.
I know some of y'all got on late. It's all good, you know, and we get off early tonight, so y'all can get another 45 minutes worth of sleep.
That part.
But it's all good. So tonight we signing off early. Everybody, y'all already know how it goes down. We don't never leave without Brent saying something crazy.
Prophet?
Come
So
on,
you get ready to say it right now. Don't you try to hold back. You know, last week I had to pull it out of you, but that lets me know that it was here y'all go. Here y'all go. Here y'all.
Hey,
Brent,
babe.
don't look at me with that tone of voice.
Go ahead, Prophet.
Yeah, Terrence.
Don't look at me with that.
Don't look at me with that tone of voice. Who you think you talking to the way you looking at me?
We're so
You
ignorant.
do be telling me that though, Kevin. So don't.
What do I tell you?
Don't be looking at me like that with that tone of voice.
Hey, Terrence, I found quick. Brent, get your story together. We get ready to go. Scott, Avery, we're males. You have two beautiful ladies on here, but we're gonna talk about us. I have found this out that when a woman, you're talking to a woman, and she goes, whatever. Oh boy, I have found this out. I found that a woman that talks to you that way doesn't respect you.
Oh Lord.
Oh shit.
Do I say that to you?
No. I said women that do it. I said I've learned that women that do that, they don't respect you. So when you're talking to a female and you're saying, you know, you're telling her something that's really it's true and it's sound information, and they sit up here going, oh boy, whatever. Okay, right, yeah, right, whatever.
You know what, Craig?
I've
You're
learned
right.
that they don't respect you. Have you guys have you heard that? Have you seen that?
You know what,
So
Craig?
whenever you're telling a woman something and she turns around and acts like you're not talking, that means that she has no respect for you. Because what I do know about some women is, but they will go and answer everything politely to their bosses.
Or they passed that.
But then they'll come home and act like you're not a man.
Mm.
And another part of that too is sometimes that's their way of just saying that, you know what, there's nothing more that I can do to counter what you just said. So that's my way of trying to be dismissive of whatever the conversation was.
Now, here's what I said before. What we got to understand is a lot of times when you know everything you know about a person and you still find it in you to love them and respect them and honor them, then that's a great deal of not just, I won't say intelligence, well, intelligence, but it also shows that you are mature enough to understand that, you know, what the person did yesterday still does not negate the fact that they are not just human, but they are to be respected, you know. And so I said all that to say that what we have to understand too is that men also have to realize that we have to be that way to women too. So if a woman is talking, we can't say you're a woman, you don't know what you're talking about.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know some women who are way more intelligent than us brothers.
You better know this one right here.
I was gonna say my sister
you know
too.
what? Watch it.
Stephanie is phenomenal. Stephanie is a brainiac,
She
you know.
really is.
But I also know
Always has
Stephanie's crazy. She's a nut.
Always has
You know, most educated people ain't got no common sense. It's
That's
true.
you
That's
know,
a fact.
it's
And get
but
right.
she's crazy. So I said all that to say, let's love you one another. Let's respect one another. Do I love I love Tanya. Tanya, I love you. And you know, you're not real quick to say it back, which lets me know you don't respect me. But I'm just yeah. Every Brent, you saw that, right?
No, I thought you had like more to say. And I was like, let me let him finish.
Did you
Let
see
me let
Brent's
her
eyes?
go.
He was like, well, you got
No,
exposed
Brent,
again.
Don't be doing that. I do love you too, sweetheart. I love you too. I was just waiting. I thought you had a whole thing. I'm sorry. I wanted to respect. I wanted to respect while you were talking. I love you too, sweetheart. I
Okay,
love
all
you
right,
too.
cool. I'm glad you do. Hey, Brent, it's that time. It's 8:20. It's 11:20. I mean, midnight tonight. We getting off early. I don't know. I'm so excited. I think it's because of the pizza. But my point is, it's your turn, Doc. Let's go.
Get
Scott done
up,
got off.
Jesus, because
You know what? The whole time you was talking to Tanya, the only thing that I kept thinking about was
You better
first you
watch it.
gotta
You better
put your
watch it.
neck into it. Don't stop, just do it, do it. Then you roll your tongue from the back up to the front. There. Okay, that's all I
Lord
that's all I kept
Jesus.
thinking about.
Get it, get it, get it.
All right, all
That's
right, all
about
right,
that.
all right,
All
all
right, all
right,
I
right.
was,
all right,
I was doing the,
all
I
right.
was doing the Brent. I was doing the Brent. I was doing
He
the
he
Brent.
he was enough. He was enough.
You were doing it me. Well, that's how I used to pay my bills. So
You know that I had the video. You still got it. So.
Terrence.
that's how I used to pay my bills. I've
Terrence.
ruined a
Nope,
lot of happy
nope,
homes. I've
nope.
ruined a lot of happy homes.
It
I've
was two
ruined
shows in one
a
night.
lot of happy homes. Some of the
Now,
homes, some of you people know on here on tonight.
listen,
However,
I just need to know, Brent, where did you really
Oh.
make your coins? At the first show or the late show?
both.
Oh,
Oh.
There's an early morning glory. The Bible says, early shall I seek thee.
No.
So
Oh
Time to
my
only
go.
you
God.
would put that together with the Bible.
All
so
Brent,
right.
I'm
Well,
give us
seeking
Brent.
the
thee
end.
early in the morning.
Brent,
Brent,
it's
put
your
your finger on
time.
that thing.
I already got it. I'm already there. Let's go, Brent.
We got
You
Here
know
we
what? For
go.
real though, okay.
Uh-huh.
So it may not be anything
Avery,
funny
look at
that I
that
have
thing,
to
man.
say tonight. I really can't even think of nothing funny. I don't have no. Well, I just got my teeth cleaned, so I can't smoke or drink for the next 48 hours. So y'all pray for me.
Praise the Lord.
Pray for me. I got my teeth cleaned today, and they dug in my gums like a
Like
Oh,
thug
scaling.
was digging in a
Woo!
hole. You hear me?
Oh
Ooh.
That
no.
scaling
Oh
is
So
no
You
joke.
no.
do
Oh
yeah,
mind?
they
no.
they
I can work
dug
it
in
out.
me like a thug digs in a whore. And
Oh
so
no. Oh no.
I my mouth is a little
Oh,
bit sore. Um,
you
so I
think?
really, yeah. I mean, they got them in there. I was like, oh my
I've been there,
God, like,
Doc. I know what it
Has your
is.
mouth ever
That
been sore
hurts.
before? Has your mouth ever been sore before?
Oh
yeah.
God.
So
Oh
I have
God.
Stop,
periodontal.
Scott.
stop trying to egg him on.
I know where you trying to go, but let me bring that
Yeah.
back.
I'm very innocent. I'm very
Uh,
innocent.
Come
because
back
to
up to the
answer
light,
your
sir. Come
I'm
question,
back to the
very
light.
innocent.
no,
Come
because
back to the
practice
light.
makes perfect, and I do all things
Ah!
well. Okay.
Oh,
God.
Oh.
So, all things well over here. Okay? Now don't make me spill my tea. However, just know
Put these
everything is
glasses on.
intact over here. But back to
Uh-huh.
the teeth exam,
Oh
Uh-huh.
the teeth cleaning.
God.
So I have a gum disease. A lot of people do not believe me when I say this, but I have periodontal. So
I
it's
used to.
Okay.
inflammation of gums. It is
Yeah.
you lose bone
I used
You
marrow,
lose
to.
bone
Bone.
marrow,
That's
yeah.
right. That's
all
right.
of
I
that
had it
stuff,
too.
like your tissues get soft if you do not stay on top of
Come
it.
on, dental.
So I have to get a lot of people always talk about my teeth and all that kind of stuff, but it is a lot of work to make sure that I am not having dentures in my mid
Right.
40s.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
So
AKA dental
yes,
surgery.
I
Got it.
am
Okay.
used to this level of pain, but because I'm in Houston now and I've only been here for a year, it's been hard trying to find a dentist. So now I found a really, really, really
What you
good
gonna do
one.
in Africa? Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Well, all of the healthcare and stuff is free over there in Europe
Right.
and in Africa. So, I don't have to worry about that type of stuff. I just make sure that
Okay.
they don't eat no cats
Hey
and dogs
Brent,
before I
one
come.
time back April 26th in 2016. So let me go back because I want to tell you that I understand what you're going through. So I was in Berlin, Germany. Nope, I was in Paris, France, and I was on stage and the whole base just fell because I had a tooth here that literally the infection went all the way up to my eye.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when we got to Berlin, Germany, I went to a dentist and I had an abscess. It was infected. So he gave me these pills. There was 6 of them,
You
right?
blessed that they didn't
They were.
kill you.
I don't like. Well, this is what happened. I got the pills. I took all 6. That was back in 1996.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have pain for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Had no pain. April 26th of 2016, I was driving home. I got to a street called Lemon Street. I was making a right. And before I could make the right, Felt like somebody took a butcher knife and shoved it in my head.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
20 years later, I had a tooth that was here. Same tooth. I don't know what kind of drugs they gave me, but that was some powerful shit.
Yeah.
But I turned around, I went to the dentist, and they had to scale my teeth and all of that. But they had to get rid of this tooth, but they had to do a bone graft.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
So
painful.
I had, and they shot me up about 6 times. They was like, "This is not going to be comfortable." But they
Mm-hmm.
did the bone graft because the bone graft, they scaling your
You're
bone, they
still in
going up there
bone,
and
yeah.
pulling it, and I had that happen, and I haven't had that problem anymore. So when you talk about periodontal disease, it comes at such a time, and maybe we should talk about this next week too about health. But it comes at such a time when you have to stay on top of it because, like you said, when you have periodontal disease, it actually deteriorates your bone.
Right.
So there's nothing to hold your teeth in place anymore,
Right.
Mm.
and it takes your teeth out.
Yeah. Right. And
So
it's
that
really important for people that give head to really stay on top
Oh
oh
of their
God.
shoot! All
oral
right. Well,
hygiene.
I ain't got the butt.
That
I
is
ain't got the
very
butt.
true, Grant.
I ain't
It's really
Wait,
important.
Tracy. Wait, Tracy.
You
Tracy. What you
can't
say?
you can't
I
be
just
putting
said that is
plaque.
very true.
Yeah, you
What's
Wait
very
can't
a
true,
put
minute.
Tracy?
Wait
What's
a
true,
You
minute.
gotta
Tracy?
you gotta stay up on your dental
oral
if you give
hygiene.
head.
I gotta
Yeah.
go. It's time to go night
Exactly.
night.
Tracy
God.
said,
Exactly.
"Get up on that
Because you
thing."
don't want the person's body parts to smell like plaque and
Right.
decay. You know what I'm saying? So
Wait a
you
Oh
got
minute,
to,
Jesus.
and it's
Tracy.
a lot of people
Tracy.
out there putting
Tracy,
their
you know
mouth.
you don't
we
just
were
still
here.
lie, Tracy.
We were here.
We not have to be
And
after party,
we
Tracy.
Terrence, we going down in
I
flames.
admit it.
yeah,
I
It's a
admit
lot of,
it.
I'm just saying, it's a lot of
I'm
people out there putting their
admit it.
mouth. Yeah, it's a lot of people putting their mouth in places that they don't
I
put
gotta go.
toothbrushes. You see what I'm saying? Like,
No, you're
at
not
least put
leaving
a
yet. You hold on.
toothbrush in there and clean it. But
Oh
I do want to say
Jesus.
this though,
What's going on,
I,
Jesus?
I
Kevin.
gotta go.
I do
Yes,
want to say
yes,
this though, Kevin.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If
Get
your
ready to hit
fine
the end
ass
button.
mama ain't on here next week, I ain't coming on.
Who?
My mother?
My,
What you
He
say
was
about
All right.
my
he
mama?
loves her legs. He loves her legs. He loves her legs. So we gotta get her on.
I'll tell her. And you know what? For you, she'll come on. She won't do it for me, but she'll do it for you. She won't do it for
Shoot.
me.
She
No.
would.
If I say, Mama, come on the show, I'm not coming on there. But if I
Mhm.
say Brent want her to come, she'll show up.
Yeah.
So I'll have her
No,
on
so
there.
that's what all
And
I
the
have to
only
say.
way I'm gonna tell her now, see you giving I'm giving
Let
one.
Brent.
The only way I'm gonna tell her is if you say what you need to say right now, we get off this show. So let's go. You right there. You
You
want
gonna
her
let him,
on?
babe?
I was
Put her
just
on.
saying, if you out here giving head, at least go to the dentist. You know what I'm
That's
Oh
right.
saying?
God.
Because I've had a lot of head in my
Turn his
life,
mic off.
Oh no.
and
Oh,
it was a
oh,
lot of
Turn his
strange
mic off.
smells when those
oh
individuals
no.
got their
Oh
Turn his
teeth
mic
Jesus.
pulled.
Oh
off.
no.
Hit the
Mic
button,
Oh
mute.
Dennis.
no. I
Jesus.
can't do
So
it.
Kill it.
if you gonna be
Kill
giving
it.
head, go to the
Mr. Terrence.
dentist. This is the
Kill
end of
it.
the
You might as well
year.
just,
This is the
just
end of the
buckle up
Listen,
and go
year.
with
listen,
it.
This
Terrence.
Go
is
with
the
it.
The
time
button
that you're
won't work.
supposed to go. You're supposed to get it done every 6 months. So this is the time for you to, get up off your knees and just go check your
I gotta
mouth.
go.
Oh
You know what I'm
We're out.
Jesus.
saying?
God bless
I
y'all.
gotta
Good
go.